Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate y'all for stopping by. I am joined today by a very good friend of mine. We have Anthony Child of the Corn. What's up, dude? How we doing?
Appreciate you having me, man. Thanks. Just happy to be here. I've done a few streams here and there, but when you said you were doing a bracket challenge, I'm like, dude, that's what's up. Like, especially with these films that you selected. Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, dude, it's been way too long since we had you on the page. It's been so long, I don't even remember the last time we talked. Like, I don't even remember what we were talking about last time you were here.
I was trying to think of the last stream that we might have done. I couldn't quite remember what the topic was, but yeah, it's been a minute.
It had to have been like some Scream 7 stuff. So I guess I kind of wanted to kick this off with just like a brief little chat about that. We've kind of gone back and forth like a little bit on that, but did you just for shits and gigs, what did you think about that film?
Okay. Total honesty. No, dude, I enjoyed it. Like, I know the whole thing with Melissa just came out and all that stuff, and it's all good. I'm just glad the movie did well. I think we went and saw it 3 times. Yeah, 3. I think we saw it in IMAX. It was like the first movie I saw in IMAX in possibly in a long time, I'll say.
That's dope.
And we loved it, dude. I'll say this. I was a little surprised of the vibe the first time around. And I kind of thought that some of the kills went a little too over the top. I didn't think that was kind of Scream's like MO. I thought they were a little more like here's just an example. So when they were in the bar and they did the whole beer tap like kill or whatever, and technically that was supposed to be his mom, and stuff like that, that actually did that. Not too believable. I was telling Dace, I was like, what they should have done is they should have had like a pinball machine in there, and she should have smashed out the pinball machine and like maybe sliced his neck or something like that. To me, that just seems like more practical, but like it was fine. That was like literally the only like few things. I thought some of the kills were maybe a little over the top, kind of, trying to chase that Terrifier vibe or, a little bit, but all the nostalgia in there. I loved it. I love Nev. I thought the cast did a really good job. I was glad to see, Chad and Mindy come back. I actually thought they were like a great, comedic relief in there. Like I thought that it might have actually been my favorite movie with the two, to be honest. So I liked it, man. I know the reveal wasn't what everybody probably wanted, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. I'll say that. Like, I mean, dude, the movie made a bunch of money. I'm happy, that they'll probably do a follow-up here soon. Like, I don't know. I'll be interested to see what they do for Scream 8. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, man. I mean, that's cool. I haven't been super positive about it, so it's good to have some positive energy on the page always. But yeah, I think you probably heard my take by now. Wasn't crazy about it. Didn't really work for me, but I'm glad that some people have really, found something in it, which is dope. That makes me so happy, But I will say, with Scream 8, I think there's hope for some change, and I'm always down for that. I'm trying to be optimistic with it. I can't wait to see where it goes next,
Yeah, so. I'm interested to see what director they'll bring in. I'm not saying that Kevin did a bad job. I think he shot it pretty well. Like I just think, maybe some of the storyline and writing was maybe middle of the road or whatever. But I'll literally be really interested to see what they do with 8. So. But yeah, I mean, dude, don't get me wrong, man. I love 7. Like we went and saw it, 3 times, and I felt like I felt like I knew what type of vibe they were kind of going for, and then I just kind of enjoyed it a little bit more after that. But it's good to see that it's still alive. You know what I mean? So
right. Well, today we're talking about all kinds of franchise continuations, and specifically ones that share the names of their originals. So I thought this would be kind of fun because this has been a trend in horror for, as you can see, some time now. And I know there's probably more examples from different time periods, but I really wanted to stick to like maybe just the millennium, like 2000 to now, because I especially feel like this has been a trend in like the modern day. I feel like the majority, when you think of like movies that are called the same thing as the original, I feel like you're thinking of movies from like 2000 to now. So I kind of wanted to keep it to that vibe and that feel. But I'm really excited to get into all these because there are some great movies on this list, and in my opinion, there's a couple that are dog shit, and I can't wait to break them all down, dude. It's exciting stuff. I do want to say hi to some folks, but before we do that, just real quick, Anthony, I want to throw one other thing at you. Is there any movie on this list that would be like your number one seed that you want to see win it all out?
Dude, and now it's your bracket. I think they're all great matchups. I was surprised to see Halloween 18 and Friday the 13th 09 in the first round, but hey, it's like that was the one I was surprised. I think like you'll be interested. Like, I think you'll be intrigued to see like which some of these that I actually pick. But if I was to pick like a number one seed, it's probably 18 or 09, Friday the 13th 09.
Dude, hell yeah.
Too much nostalgia with those two movies. But there are a lot of other great movies on this list. But yeah, I think anybody would probably pick Halloween 18 and Friday 09.
Oh, so that's going to be a tough matchup when we get to that one for you.
Yeah. So actually, it's maybe better that you kind of put those two together at the beginning, so then you can get them out of the way. So yeah, at least one.
See, that's how these go a lot of the time, where it's just like, oh man, there's going to be some heartbreakers just to kick this thing off. Like that's always brutal, I feel. So it's going to be fun. I love heartbreakers in the first couple minutes, but we will get to that one soon. I'm excited for it. I have to say, I think Evil Dead 2013 is I'm really rooting for that one. I'm gonna put some blood down. So I'm gonna shed some blood to make sure that one wins it all. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's anybody's game. If you've never played with us before, if you haven't been on these bracket streams, which we kind of brought back recently to the page, basically how this is going to roll is, since we got Anthony here today, Anthony gets a vote, I get a vote, and then y'all get a vote. In fact, you can vote in the first poll right now. We're doing it a little differently this week, where you can actually type a 1 or a 2 in the chat. If you look at the bottom left of our screen here, it says, which sequel do you prefer? And we're starting off with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, because I just thought it'd be really funny to kick it off with that. And look at that, we already got a vote. So if you type the number 1 that would be for TCM 2003, type the number 2 for TCM 2022. And the voting has begun. Rock and roll, make it happen. Before we go any further and talk about that, though, I do want to chat with some of the folks out there who are joining us tonight. I greatly appreciate you guys for stopping by. We got the Jester out there, our resident Terrifier fan. What's up? What's up? Saying, hey, Jake, how you doing? What's up, dude? Hopefully Rhea Ripley's in Terrifier 4. Sadly, we don't got any Terrifier on the bracket tonight, but maybe they'll do a remake eventually. Paula Fitzhenry saying, hi. What's up, Paula? How we doing? Welcome in. Thanks for joining us tonight. Big Daddy Dave is saying, Big Daddy Jake, another live stream. Fuck yeah, I'm working, but I'll be listening in, brother. And if TCM 2022 isn't on the bracket and isn't considered top tier, hot take, I know, I'll be very upset. Well, we have some opinions about that I'm excited. We were literally before, Anthony, tell me I'm wrong on this. We were literally just saying before this.
Just talking about it, yep.
We're like, dude, that movie's actually kind of good.
Oh, it's solid, yeah.
I'm a weird defender of it, but we'll talk about which one we think should win this poll in a sec. RJ Skarenki is saying this is a great topic to discuss, especially with those cash cow refuels right now. That seems to be the money makers in the space, but who knows? Maybe that changes with Obsession about to cross the 100 million line at the box office. So original horror, I think, is coming back hard and strong.
What was the budget? 750?
It was like, yeah, somewhere between 750,000 and $1 million, which is crazy.
Awesome. Yep, that's dope,
bro. And I think it's sitting at 84 million last time I checked, so it will definitely cross 100 at some point.
That's awesome. Yeah,
really exciting stuff. It's always great to see horror winning, man. Erica Stabs for likes. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a mod. You're saying, hey, what's up, Erica? Thanks for being with us. Thanks for keeping the chat safe. Really does mean a lot. Helps us out quite a bit. Green Gaze is with us. I'm not going to do that. Not a smoker, but I appreciate the offer. Magnificent Logo saying, yo, what's up, dude? Coop is saying, Jake, my brother, can I hold it? Anthony, we're going to have a 1 vote on this. You get to vote. Should he hold it?
I don't know. That's up to you. Yeah.
See, my career's in your hands now, Anthony. Yeah, so I'll whip it out if you say you can hold it.
tell him you'll start an OnlyFans or something.
That I appreciate you not destroying my career here. Thank you. Yeah, OnlyFans is on the way. There we go. Coop, you can subscribe to that as well. Thanks for being a channel member. We also got Paula saying, nice seeing everyone. It always is. Allie, thank you for the $2. We greatly appreciate that. Hope everyone is doing well. I think we are. Anthony, are you doing well?
Oh, 100%. Can't complain. Blessed. Yeah, can't complain.
Can't complain, man. I love it. You were watching a little Friday the 13th, part 8 specifically before the stream.
Dude, we have been actually watching some banger ass movies. A couple I just wanted to say, dude, today we watched just randomly on Tubi. I was just going through and then I saw it. Speaking of kind of like redos of films or like kind of, have you ever seen Body Snatchers from 93?
Oh, 93. No, I have not seen the 93 one.
I'm telling you, I was not aware of the film. You should definitely watch it. It's got Kyle from Child's Play 2. It's got Lawrence Fishburne. It's got Lee Ermey, the dude from TCM 03, the sheriff or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, it's an Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of like semi remake, and dude, it's solid, man. It almost kind of you ever seen that movie Shivers?
Yeah.
It's kind of got a 90s vibe of that too. It's just dude, it was a good watch, man. So we did watch that. Movies I kind of been impressed with that we just watched the Batman. Pretty much I confirmed that that's probably like my favorite film of all time. Really stoked for Batman Part 2.
Nice.
Dude, They Will Kill You. Surprisingly, that movie was solid as fuck, dude.
Thank you.
The Domino chick from Deadpool 2 did a really good job as like the main girl. And dude, because like I bought it, I just randomly bought it. I was like, you know what? Like it was, it's like, why rent it for $20? Like I'll just buy it. And the Tarantino vibes with like the Kill Bill, like, blood splatter and just the fighting and choreography and shit. I was like, dude, this is Tarantino-esque like to the max. I was impressed. So yeah, that was a good film.
Dude, I'm like, you don't even know how happy you just made me. No, like I made a review of that movie and I'm like, wow, one of my favorite horror films of the year, like without a doubt. That movie kicked ass. All the comments were like, dude, you're glazing it. It was like so mid. What are you talking about? I'm like, what? I'm like, that movie kicked ass, bro. It was so good. I'm so glad you liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see, say what like people want in film anymore, but I thought that was like, a film that I haven't seen in like a minute, like action horror, especially Tarantino-esque like fighting style and just like practicals. I thought it was cool as fuck, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Just hell yeah to that. They Will Kill You was a lot of fun. If you guys missed that, I want to say it's streaming very soon, or maybe it already is somewhere. But I would
guess it probably will be. Yeah.
Dying to see that one again because that was a lot of fun. Some good twists and turns, some badass characters, great cast. Oh my god.
Yeah,
dude.
Patricia Arquette, Heather Graham, Malfoy from Harry Potter. Like, dude, like the cast was like kind of crazy. You were like unexpected. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like, man, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that movie was a ton of fun if you missed it. Allie, thanks for the $2 though. We appreciate it. I think we are doing well. We're having a lot of fun talking some horror tonight. So gotta love that. Do appreciate you all for coming here. But we are going to get moving into this poll because we gotta talk about this. We're 15 minutes into the stream, baby. It's time to talk about the topic at hand. So, Anthony, I'll throw this to you first. We're starting off with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. Which one would you prefer of these sequels?
Okay, great matchup, and I very much respect both films. I would say, to the people that were, saying 2022 needs respect, totally agree. That movie, I remember the night that they streamed it on Netflix, I sat there and watched it just on a loop like the whole night. And the film, it's probably in the top 4 of the franchise for me, to be honest, maybe even top 3. But dude, I'm sorry, like the nostalgia that I have for 03, it's like we literally, like I told you the other night, we just watched it again, and dude, it like Mark Nispel was just in the bag with that film. Like the dude is a music video guy, and I think this might have been his first film. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm not for sure, but Platinum Dunes, the run that Platinum Dunes like had in the 2000s, this Friday the 13th, 09, the Hitcher remake, the Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. I mean, I think those films are solid as shit. Like the vibe is just there. Like it's Jessica Biel, like literally Dace was like, is Jessica Biel like a top 3 final girl of all time? Because that might just be like the definition of a final girl in that film. Like she does everything throughout that whole movie, like super hot, but like also was like running around, like kicking ass, saving the kid at the end, running over Lee. Like it's just, dude, that movie is fucking crazy good.
100%, man. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, I think, is the only sequel that really rivals the original. Like in my mind, I mean it's definitely what's got to win here. Sorry to kill all the tension, but what I will say, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 gets too much hate. That's something that I do want to make a big point of, because listen, there's so many movies these days that are way too damn long, doing way too much, just trying to be larger than life, whatever. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 just accepts the kind of movie that it is, and it's just this fun little 73-minute slasher film with some great kills, and just some fun times in a crazy ass setting. It delivers on its title. It is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, damn it, and I'm satisfied. I'll take it. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a bunch of people getting chopped up with a chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 is a ton of fun. But 2003, I mean, for R. Lee Ermey's performance alone, this movie deserves to move forward.
Yeah, dude, 22 has such good like slasher vibes. Like the guy that plays Leatherface does a fantastic job. Like the film just got great vibe. It really does. Like, but again, it's just, of course, it like had, it's going against like just an absolute Goliath in the first round or whatever. I mean, dude, TCM 03 is like, I think I came up with the question like one time. It was like, what is like the definition of a horror movie? Like the absolute perfect definition of a horror movie, and like what film would you pick as that definition? And for me, it's TCM 03. Like I remember being in 6th grade. We went to it in theaters when it was for my birthday, and I just remember we all thought it was real. We all thought it all happened, and like we were just like, I was like just in the bag on this film. Like when it came out on DVD, I got the collection set and just everything. It's just, I was all in with that movie for like the longest time. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's a total blast, and it's dark as shit. It's scary as fuck. I mean, right off the bat, you have the scene with the girl in the van, which when you're making a remake, when you're doing some kind of franchise continuation, and you can find a way to do something that's just as scary, if not scarier than the original. I mean, like, dude, that's almost that scene is, I think, in my personal opinion, scarier than the hitchhiker scene in the original. That's crazy when she does what she does. I don't want to say.
And then the detail of like the smoke like rolling out of her mouth, like when they cut back into the van. It's just the detail in that film is just, it's crazy, man. Yeah.
That shot, it feels impossible too when we go through like her neck hole. You know what I'm talking about? That shot's so impressive. It's crazy.
I think Hard Eyes did a pretty good job of kind of like mimicking that scene a little bit. I liked Hard Eyes. I thought Hard Eyes was pretty solid, but I liked that scene that they had in the back of the van or whatever during that. Yeah, that scene was pretty fun.
I have a lot of respect for Hard Eyes. I could go on and on about that, but I don't want to get too off topic because that is that man, that's a conversation. But yeah, dude, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, 100%. I think, and to go off of that though a little bit, it's an influential film because of some of the things it does. Like even as a remake, which I don't feel like we come across that too often. Like most remakes are kind of just, we're hitting on the things that the original movie did really well, and then we're moving on. Like people kind of forget about it. There's a lot of movies like that, movies that I was thinking about putting on this list, but I don't think there's too many people out there that would defend some of these movies. Like, let's say the Poltergeist remake. Like, does anyone even remember that?
I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever seen. My bad. Correction. I have seen about like the first 20, 25 minutes of it. Yeah, definitely. Yep. Dude,
you're missing nothing. Like, I hate to say it, but that movie is like, just watch the original. It's a waste of time. But what I'll say, guys, just make sure you're getting your votes in. TCM 2003, type a 1 in the chat, or TCM 2022, type a 2. I think both of us, so we're both voting for TCM 03 though.
For sure. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So something I am going to do just real quick, because I kind of forgot to do it, is I am going to throw this up on there. I'd like to kind of like keep our score, on the screen so that it's like people aren't getting confused, because that can get kind of weird. Be like, well, what are these guys voting for again? I don't remember. So we're gonna say top 0 and bottom 0, but this is about to change because I think we're topping this bracket, baby. There we go. And yeah, I meant it just like that. You know how I meant it. Okay. Anyways, yeah, we're tops, babies. All All right, rocking and rolling. Looks like everyone else is voting for the top as well. TCM 2003, I think, is going to move forward.
Nice.
But I do appreciate the love for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 out there. I saw some of y'all voting for it. It means a lot.
It's great. Yeah, it really is.
It's a fun movie, man. It deserves some more love. Ty is with us. What's up, dude? How we doing? Jake, finally able to catch it live. Just wanted to say I love your content. I love you. Thank you. Thanks for being with us, dude. Love what you're doing, brother. Keep at it. Thank you. I'm trying my best, so I appreciate that. Thanks for being with us. We do have some love and some hate for TCM, which I think is interesting in here. Bus scene was the only ass part. How do you feel about the bus scene in 2022?
Ooh, I mean, I thought that was, well, I think it's like middle of the road. I thought it was pretty, I mean, slasher wise, it's pretty fucking solid. Like, I mean, I thought they were, it was kind of fun. Like, oh, dude, like you're going to be on live, bro. Or like, you're going to, and then they just, everybody's getting like turned in half. Like, it's just like that scene's pretty intense. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of middle of the road. I would say, it's pretty solid.
I thought it was kind of dope because I thought just the kills were great. I hate to
the
be
blue light. Yeah.
The blue lights. Yeah. It's beautiful, I think, in a way, and also evil, but between that, like, I think the thing that people hate about it is you do anything and you're canceled, bro. Like, everyone hates that. Right. Man, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. And what's wrong with a little bit of camp, right? That's kind of how I look 100%. At it. Okay, so we got a brand new poll coming up for the next run. So next up, Evil Dead 2013 versus Wrong Turn 21. Type a 1 in the chat if you want Evil Dead 2013. Type a 2 if you want Wrong Turn 2021. Anthony, what are your thoughts on these two movies?
I actually like the Wrong Turn franchise a lot. I really do. I think aside from the first one, Elijah Dushku, honestly, awesome final girl in that first one. The first one I have a ton of nostalgia for. I remember when that movie came out, it was solid. I think I like 4 because 4 has like the snow setting, which is really dope.
Yeah, dude.
They're just kind of fun to just kind of, sit, turn on and then just kind of, do whatever you're doing or, kind of a little bit of some popcorn films. But I for the longest time I didn't realize that Mike P. Nelson did the Wrong Turn remake, and I remember we sat down and watched it because I was like, oh, I gotta watch this because I like the whole rest of the franchise. I thought it was solid. I thought he shot it really fucking well. I think it looks really good, looks really clean. Again, when I had told you about it the other day, I was just like, man, I just hated when that girl at the end like got Stockholm syndrome and she was like, I'm gonna side with them and I'm gonna stay or whatever, and I'm just like, damn, I was like, I wasn't expecting that, but
yeah,
it's it was a solid movie, man. I thought it was good, man. Okay, yep.
What's up?
Oh no, I was just I didn't know if you wanted me to go and then on Evil Dead or whatever. What were you gonna say?
Well, did you see the you saw how you saw Wrong Turn 2021 like what happens during the credits, right?
Oh, maybe I didn't. What happens? Does she run away?
Oh my God, wait, did you not? Anthony, bro.
Maybe I just forgot. Oh, maybe I forgot.
Because she agrees to go with them, but then like the credits keep rolling and the story's not over.
Oh, damn.
Wait, oh my God, dude. This is so exciting. Wait, this is so exciting. This is why I
watch. Damn.
Listen, there's a lot of things I love about this movie, and I think it's criminally underrated. But one of the things, there's 3 things about this movie that I could go on and on and on about. But so one of the coolest things about this movie is that when the credits start to roll, the story is not over. Like the bus or whatever is going down the road, and then like it starts swerving out of control, and then it fucking flips over and shit and crashes into a car, and then she gets out of the car having killed everybody inside. I really hope I didn't just spoil that for you. Did you see that or no?
Dude, I can't remember now. That doesn't sound familiar. Maybe I did. I don't know. But
what?
Hey, you know what? Maybe that makes the movie way better now. Nice.
Bro, you gotta go back and watch it again.
Dude, I literally crazy is I actually think I had bought the movie on my Fandango. And I swear I don't know if I ever watched it again.
Dude,
I'll have to watch it now. Nice.
I'm so excited for you. Like, I had to tell you, I'm sorry.
No,
Like,
it's all good. No, it's all good. Now you gave me a reason to go back and watch it. Nice.
bro, because like the end, like it's crazy because you think that's what's gonna happen. Like, you think it's like, oh no, like that sucks, you know? And then like she fucking kills everybody in the van, and then just like just walking away like with a limp and covered in blood and shit. It's like the craziest ending to a movie, dude. It's so cool.
That's
oh my god,
nice, dude.
I'm like speechless. I'm so excited for you. Like, that's so cool.
I do remember you talking about how much you like this film, and I was just like, man, when I watched it, I was just like, I feel like I was so upset with like what happened. See, I must not have watched it, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, because you kind of think it's over. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you're like, you think it's over, and it's like the credits start rolling. You're like, what the fuck? But then it's like 30 seconds later, like the van going down the road. Like, it's all one take too, which is so impressive. Yeah. And man, like, watch it. I'm begging you to watch it again, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, no, that movie's underrated, but like, we're going with Evil Dead 2013, right? Let me know your thoughts about that one.
Dude, fucking Fede's in the bag on this one, dude. Like, I remember when this movie came out, and dude, you were like the one that like turned me on to Evil Dead. I literally was like oblivious to it. I was just like, I know Bruce Campbell. I've seen him before. Like, the one I remember grow up watching and seeing the most scenes from was Army of Darkness, and I just never had watched it like all the way through. And so I remember when I bought that, I was like, okay, we're going to watch the remake. Cause I remember when this movie came out, they said it was the scariest film ever. And it was, you know, they always kind of played it, and I just never watched it because I'm just more of a slasher guy and stuff. So anyways, when we watched it, I was like, oh my God, I have no idea what this has to do with any of the original films, but this movie's badass. You know, the practicality, you know, like the Deadites. It was, dude, Fede was in. This is the first movie I probably ever watched of Fede's. Yeah, I probably watched this right before Don't Breathe or something. So yeah, like,
oh, nice.
He's just in his bag on this one. Fede's like one of my favorite. He probably is. Let's see here. Yeah, he's probably my favorite horror director right now, I would say. I thought Romulus was fucking great. So we don't need to get off track, but like, yeah, Fede was in his bag on this one. I think the main gal, I can't think of her name. I think she's going to be at Scarefest this year, actually.
Jane Levy.
Yeah, she does a great fucking job. Like, that whole cast did a great job. That movie was solid.
Oh yeah, dude, it's vicious. It's even more vicious than the original, I think.
For sure.
It's gorgeous as hell. I think it's some of the best like modern body horror. And that's really saying something, you know, in this day and age where we do have a lot of good body horror flicks. But man, this movie is hard to fucking watch. That girl like sawing off her arm with the turkey cutter or whatever is crazy. There's multiple moments of this that just make me flinch in terror. And I think that to me is the thing that I love so much about Evil Dead 2013. It has this staying power, like unlike any other horror flick, at least for me. Like I've seen this movie 100 times. It still makes me like wince in pain because I'm just like, oh my God, that crowbar going through the dude's fingers. That's so fucked up.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, dude. Again, yeah, great kill scenes, and just like, again, like you said, a bunch of moments where you're just like, ooh, yeah, cringing and stuff. It's just, dude, it's solid, man. It's absolutely solid, and it does a good job of like showing, you know, homage to like, you know, everything that came before it. Like I really think, like, if you had never seen an Evil Dead movie before it, and then you watch this one first, and then it's actually kind of the same with another film that we'll be talking about here in a little bit. It was like my first Evil Dead movie, and literally then going and watching the rest, I'm like, oh, I see what they were trying to capture with like the remake. Honestly, if you don't like include like movies like The Thing or anything like that from '82, it's hands down one of the best remakes, like top 3, top 5 for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. 100%. Totally agreed. One of the best remakes, reimaginings, however you want to look at it. It's so damn good. I think it's just a total banger. But I wanted Wrong Turn. I knew Evil Dead was going to win this. Let's be real here. It's a landslide victory for Evil Dead is what it's looking like from the from the votes. But I wanted to get Wrong Turn in here because, again, if you haven't seen this one, if you're someone who was like, I don't know if that's going to work for me, it's a totally different concept than the original Wrong Turn flicks. You got to put this one on because it is. I put these two together because I think they're two of the most vicious movies on this entire list. Wrong Turn 2021, shockingly vicious and brutal as hell, right?
Yeah, has some moments, yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's just, again, Mike knowing that that's just how the franchise is, you know, and stuff like that. Those movies, like, the franchise is just very gory and stuff for sure.
Yeah, and this one, it doesn't. It might not deliver on having certain kinds of killers there like the other movies, but I think it does deliver on the gore and brutality. There's a scene involving doing something to eyeballs in this movie and putting people in a dark cave. That's just like one of the scariest fucking things. I don't know.
Dude, I'm gonna have to rewatch the movie. I'm gonna have to rewatch it. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's very good if you haven't seen it in a while. So good one, definitely a good one to put on. But Evil Dead moving forward, it's like I said it earlier and I'll say it again, it's my top seed, baby. Nice. Let's make it happen. All right, yeah, that's gonna be that for that one. We're moving on to Scream 2022, and I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Anthony, let us know your thoughts on these two movies.
Okay. Dude,
lots to think about.
Well, yeah, this is a super great matchup, dude, because I love both of these films. 2022 was literally the reason why I kind of got into the horror community, even just like got on YouTube and stuff. I literally had watched it one weekend with my buddies, and that was the same weekend I saw The Batman for the first time, and this was on YouTube, rented it, and I was like, dude, that was solid as fuck. And then I just remember I went back home, watched a bunch of other horror movies, and then I got on YouTube, looked at reviews, found our boy Craven's channel, and the rest is history, dude. So I have a special place in my heart for 22. But dude, I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. There is like literally only one thing that I really don't like about that film, and it's not that big of a deal. I've talked with Carrie about it before. I just didn't like what they did with Ray at the end, having him become kind of like a counter bad guy. I feel like if they would have just left it with the young gal as kind of almost like an urban legend kind of thing, I think it would have been a little more solid. But I think I'm just gonna go with it though. Jennifer Love Hewitt come back. Dude, it's everything with the fisherman was solid. He just looked good. Like the kills were fucking fun. Like the movie was just. It was just done really well. Again, it was just towards the end where I'm like, I just wouldn't have done that with Ray, just in my opinion. But I still enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go with I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Damn. Okay. Shit.
See, I knew there was gonna be a couple where I'm like, I bet he probably won't think that I'm probably gonna pick that one. But again, dude, I love Scream 2022. I do. Yeah. I love that film. Like, I feel like it is like literally, the whole cast does a really good job, like in that film. And it was kind of like you said, a great reimagining. Like, I think if any of these are like a great reimagining of like its original, 2022 is obviously it's kind of like the New Hope of Star Wars. Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of, or Force Awakens, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, 2022 is solid as fuck. I just feel like the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise just doesn't get enough love. So
I think my thing about I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 is I just like, and this is a subjective thing, I think, but I hated the characters. Like I capital H hated them.
Yeah, lay it out, dude. I can totally understand that. Like the dude that was in him, or I can't think of the dude's name. I thought, he did an okay job in the film. He just he played the prick, asshole like really, really well. And like, I don't really know any of the rest of the cast like by name or anything like that, but again, like it was I would say the cast, like you said, was probably better in Scream 2 or 2022 for sure. Yeah.
But I will say, to that point, though, I will say I know people who, we've talked on live streams about both of these movies quite a few times, who feel that way about the Scream 2022 characters. They're like, I hate these kids, bro. They're like, the characters ruin the movie for me. So I sympathize with that because I walked out of Scream 2022 and I was like, the characters, like, they weren't the best from the franchise by any means, but like, I didn't hate them. But then I saw I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 and I was just like, bro, I hate these characters. So like, if that's how you feel about Scream, I sympathize with you. I get it. But I guess for me, like, I don't know. Danica, who's played by Madeline Klein here, this was like, to me, this was the actress who I was so excited to see in this movie.
She's the blonde gal?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
She got you.
And she's also on this show that I like personally, I think is crazy underrated, doesn't get enough love, called Outer Banks over on Netflix. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Not familiar. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's kind of like it's a show that honestly, like from a distance, I just am not the target audience for. It's very like kind of teen drama. Like it's almost like honestly, it's almost like I Know What You Did Last Summer mixed with like Uncharted or like a Tomb Raider kind of situation. Like they're looking for gold on the coast, like kind of like East Coast kind of vibes. It's cool. It's a fun little it's a fun little show, and honestly, I think Madeline Klein is the best part of it. Like her performance, she's kind of one of those characters that goes from like this bratty rich girl to like kind of one of the good guys like as the story progresses, and I love arcs like that, like the bad guy to kind of working with the good guys vibes. So that's just always something that works for me. Madeline Klein, great in that show. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe my brain's just working in wrong ways. She annoyed the hell out of me in this movie. I just could not get into her character. Rushing through lines, like weird little things that I'm just like, what is going on right now? Like this is crazy to me.
Dude, totally valid. Totally, like totally valid. I'm more so like wondering if that was like kind of how her character was supposed to be, or like written. I don't really know. Like, you know what I mean? Like her and that dude were kind of like supposed to be the snobby, like rich kids or like whatever. And yeah, I kind of forgot how she was, you know, like the reveals where she like gets the card when she's doing like her, what was that? What were they doing? Was it a wedding shower or something? I can't remember. Yeah.
At the beginning?
Yeah, at the beginning or whatever, when she gets the card and yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, she's getting married to the one dude, and yeah, and then the card says, "I know what you did last summer," and all that, which is fun.
I forgot. She's actually not with that guy. She's actually marrying a different guy. Yeah, and he's like the first kill. See, and that kill scene was great, man. I thought they did.
Kills are great.
Yeah, I thought that kill was great. One thing I will say about 2022 that I really love has my favorite kill of the franchise, the Vince kill, with Red Right Hand playing in the background, muscle car, just, you know, stabbed at the jugular. And then, like we've always talked about, they never showed the silhouette in like the car lights, which I don't know why they left that out. But
yeah,
in 2022, dude, they killed Dewey, man. Just can't forgive it, dude. I remember when they killed Dewey, watching that, and I was just like, no fucking way that just happened, dude.
Everyone was so upset about that. Like, it kind of makes the film a little polarizing, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, 100%. But you just knew when he walked off that thing, I'm like, no way they're going to kill him right now. And then they said it was supposed to be Amber. Don't believe it, but, you know, whatever.
I kind of, like, for me at least, I was like, okay, Scream 2022's got some balls, because I was going into that one thinking they're going to play it safe, they're going to keep all the characters alive, no way are they killing, you know, no way are they doing anything like that. And I kind of respect the film for that. I think, you know, there's an argument about I Know What You Did Last Summer having that same those same kind of balls, those same kind of testicles down below, but I just feel like, you know, turning Ray into a killer is a different scenario than killing Dewey in Scream 5. Like, that was something, like, I almost feel like Dewey had it coming for a long, like, he cheated death so many times. It's like, bro, this guy's got to die. Like, what?
Right.
But like Ray becoming the killer, that was more so like this thing that they tried to work into the original sequel. Like, when you like, I did a ton of research like on I Still Know, and I guess like one of the original pitches was they were actually going to make him the killer, and I think that's kind of why he's a little suspicious in the film that we know and love. But then they just went and did it here in the sequel, and I think like had they done it in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, I think it could have worked. Maybe he like was part of the plan in the original film or something along those lines. You know, I think you could have made that work back then, but I just think now it just kind of comes off as like, well, the trauma turned me evil, and like I don't want to, you know,
too easy.
I don't.
It's kind of whiny. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, if they would have did that with I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, I would have hated that movie. Dude, that movie, I know this is gonna sound crazy. It's one of my favorite horror sequels of all time. Like, literally top 3. I love Jennifer Love Hewitt in that movie, and like I was glad that they brought Muse Watson back. Like, it just,
yeah,
it makes sense the way they wrote that movie. It just made way better sense. But yeah, dude, if they would have just not had Ray been like in cahoots with that young gal, it would have been fine.
Ray for me, I don't know, that just didn't work. I like to see characters overcome trauma, you know, in stories like that, I guess. Call me a sucker for a happy ending when it comes to my more fun popcorn movies, but it just kind of felt like, I don't know if I care for that or not.
Like,
but
yeah, 100%.
But I will say, I think that the one thing I'll say about I Know What You Did Last Summer, I think the kills were maybe even better than Scream 2022. There were some really solid kills across the board, and that's something that is kind of more rare for I Know What You Did Last Summer. I feel like those movies weren't necessarily known for some graphic kill sequences.
Yeah, I would say the one, like, Like one of like my favorite kill of the I know it's just I know what you did last summer franchise is the one where Ray gets out of the car to look at the dummy in the second one or whatever, and he's like,
Yeah.
dude, and the dude gets ripped out of the truck, you know, from his like jaw or whatever. I'm just like, dude, that is so good, man. Like, yeah, some good stuff right there. But yeah, dude, I totally agree. Like 2022, they kill off Marley Shelton, you know,
Yeah.
Officer Judy, like out in broad daylight. You're just like, oh man, like that's crazy. I would have never guessed that that was going to happen. You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude, 2022 again. It's a solid as hell film
So you're okay, but your vote's going for I Know You Did Last Summer?
for sure. Yeah,
Rock on, rock
the
on.
one and only vote. Yeah,
The one and only vote. Let's go, baby. I love to see it. I'm picking Scream. I'm so sorry.
oh no, dude, it's all good. Yeah, dude. Like
I just I will say I think, you know, in retrospect, like I was really hot on Scream 2022 when it came out, maybe not as much now. I don't like, I haven't gone to the point of like hating the film by any means. I just think like definitely the first half of Scream 5 doesn't work for me as much as it used to. And I think like a lot of that comes from just some of the dialogue trying to be like the original, where it's like we're trying to be like, you know, cheesy horror movie vibes again. But I think that worked for the original movie because a lot of horror flicks at the time were that. And now, you know, I feel like that's not really the case with the majority of, you know, your bigger theatrical releases. Like we're really trying to work on the drama in horror more here in the 2020s, where I don't know if that was a focus of a lot of the big slashers or whatever. It was more just about what's the most brutal, crazy kill we can get in there, TNA, you know, just like all the stuff we could possibly put in here to make it just so that a lot of dudes show up. And I feel like, you know, horror maybe has evolved a little bit in the last 30-40 years, but that's just my thoughts.
yeah, for sure, dude. And I like some of the people saying like Scream 5 is like some of the top 3. Like, dude, I can totally dig that, man. That's what I love about the Scream franchise is that everybody kind of has like there's a shit ton of love for 4. And my love for 4, if there was a film that I watched the first time and it was like, whoa, that film was not the best, and then I rewatched it over time and I'm like, dude, this is like one of my most rewatchable Scream like sequels. Like I love watching this over and over. And it was like Wes's like last movie, which I massively respect. And yeah,
Scream.
that's just what I love about the franchise, is that everybody has their order. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, everyone's got a different way to rank these movies, and I think that's really fun. I'm with you though. Scream 4, man, oh, that movie's so good. That might be one of my that might be my favorite Scream film, which is like
Love
crazy.
it, dude. That is crazy. Nice.
But yeah, no, there's some good ones out there, man. And Scream 5, definitely one of the good ones. Great killers too. I can't believe we didn't even talk about that. I love the killers in Scream 5.
For sure, dude. Yeah, and like dude, what you said, like the second half being probably the better half of the film, I would say. Like again, the Vince kills early in the film, which I do like, a lot of nostalgia there. But the second half, I think, is better than the first for sure. Yeah.
I love the killer reveals, and the motive really worked for me. Some people weren't crazy about it, but I really vibed with that. You know, I know the setting it at Stu's house feels a little redundant, like we've kind of done that already. I don't disagree with that necessarily.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
It's like, nostalgic though, right?
Exactly. When they showed up at the house, I was like, oh, this is dope. The Chad kill where the guy like runs out the garage or whatever, kind of a little over the top, not the best, but that was like the worst part of the second half of the film. I feel like everything else was like spot on. It was fun for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a fun continuation. I think it still hits on what makes Scream great, even if that exercise isn't necessarily as strong as the original. But it's still there. It's still holding up those pillars of the franchise. So I think it looks like. I'm so sorry, Anthony, but it looks like Scream has taken this.
No, I love it, dude. No, I love it, man. This is for the people, man. This is for the people.
It's for the people. I love it. But I will say there's only 9 votes, and there's a couple more than 9 people in here, so make sure you're voting. If you're not, and if you don't know how to vote, type 1 in the chat for Scream for the top one, and type 2 in the chat for I Know What You Did Last Summer. If you're new, or if you're like, what the hell is this new voting system? Anthony just told me before stream that we can do polls in StreamYard. I didn't even know I could do this.
Didn't even know, man. Yeah, I watch, Mike and Jay all the time and stuff, but I literally was just in there because we did a stream like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, there it is. So, yeah, it's down in the widgets or whatever, like you said. So again, dude, I was telling you, I want to do some brackets and stuff, and they're just fun, man. It's good way to match up films.
I think it is because I love doing versus videos, and like I never get to do them anymore. But like this is kind of my excuse to make it happen live.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Now, some of you might be wondering, Jake, what is SPM? What could that possibly stand for? Well, we're talking a little bit, of course, about Slumber Party Massacre 2021, which these are my mashups that I just really wanted to get into this bracket, because I think these are two underrated movies that are also named the same thing as their originals. Slumber Party Massacre 2021, crazy slept on movie. No one really knows about it. Aired on the Sci-Fi Channel originally, so it's a sci-fi original. Really fucking solid movie if you haven't checked it out. And then of course, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2025, great slasher from the tail end of last year. Anthony, I'll throw this one to you first. Well, actually, first of all, have you seen both these movies?
I have, yes, definitely.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, which nice. Okay. Man, there's a lot of these movies. Okay, Slumber Party Massacre. I remember I got this DVD for super cheap at Walmart, and I was like, hey, dude, I've seen the first two films. Super fun. First film's a little, like you were talking, nudity, like exactly what an 80s slasher horror is all about. The antagonist is kind of fucking just, he hits the fucking bad guy part just like spot on, dude. Like, and then the whole drill, like that's super like historic. I mean, with this franchise or whatever. The second one though, with the fucking drill guitar and shit, that one's pretty off the chain too. Or whatever.
Yeah.
This one I had to remember because I was like, okay, it's like I'm pretty sure they go like to a cabin or something like that. So then I looked at Drum Dum's review of the film and I was like, yeah, I do remember this film. So I thought it was solid. I remember when I watched it, and it very much reminded me of like the first film for sure. They was just kind of a different setting or whatever. But dude, Silent Night, Deadly Night, as much as I wreck on, is the dude's name Rowan Campbell?
Yeah.
Rowan Campbell, dude. Now, dude, I don't wreck on him. I just wreck on Ends, dude. Like Halloween Ends. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. But we wreck on that movie a lot. I'm sorry. Some of the writing and dialogue just kind of funny, and the whole thing with Michael. We don't have to get into it. Anyways, actually thought he did a really good job actually in that movie. He acts really well. Like he really does. This, as him starring in this Silent Night, Deadly Night remake, also Mike P. Nelson. This movie was solid as fuck, dude. Talk about like. Dude, one of my favorite subgenres of horror is like Christmas, like just horror films. Dude, this one is top 5 for sure to watch like around every Christmas now. Like it was super well done, super good kills. The whole, him having the voice in his head the whole time because it was like transferred and stuff. It's just like, dude, like Mike, when he did like that little thing for the cider, he did the Friday the 13th little teaser. I'm like, yeah, dude, he's pretty creative with like the how he comes up with some stuff. Because he almost did like an Evil Dead vibe with that whole Friday the 13th kind of thing, which was pretty cool with the gal. And
coming back to life from Crystal Lake. Yeah, that was sick.
Very, very creative. So I thought with what he did, like I like Scream and Ice Cream, like he said, it was surprisingly good as shit. So like I would totally agree. And I thought Rowan Campbell did a solid ass job. I can't think of the gal's name in there that he
Ruby Modine.
Dude, she's crazy, man. She does like music and stuff, and dude, she was solid in the movie too. And I kind of like how she gets the payoff in the end, with everything that happened to her and like the mofos that mess with her and stuff like that. And she kind of gets it, passed on to her. It's just, dude, it was a good idea, and it was a great, like, I guess you would say remake. So, and I just like the franchise. Like that franchise is like quietly kind of fun. Like the first one, super nostalgic or whatever. But I guess it's number 5, the Toy Maker one. The Toy Maker one, yeah.
Bro, 5 is underrated as hell, man.
That one, I remember when we were rewatching them, and I was like, okay, like these other ones are pretty good, but the Toy Maker one, it just had like a full moon, like productions kind of like feel to it, and so I kind of like full moon stuff, so Puppet Master and shit like that. So yeah. So yeah, man, I thought he did a great job in the film. So yeah, my vote's definitely Silent Night, Deadly Night for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. These are, I think these both, and I see some people asking about what SPM stands for. So Slumber Party Massacre, I want to talk a little bit about that one in case you haven't seen it. It's like, if you haven't seen the original, it's a slasher movie where it is all about like, it's kind of it's satire, but it's so subtle you can miss it in a way where it's just like there is so many like let's just call it what it is. A lot of naked girls running around
Right.
getting killed by a dude with a drill, and there's some innuendo there that I'm sure you can pick up on. But the movie's directed by a woman, and it's all supposed to be kind of satire for how the slasher genre was being treated in the early '80s, where it was like let's just put some boobs out there and some crazy kills, and all the dudes are going to show up, And however you feel about that one way or the other, I think there's a way of looking at that where it's like, well, that kind of isn't. That's kind of not great, I kind of wish there's more to our movies than just that, that feels a little demeaning. So Slumber Party Massacre is a way of doing a satire towards that. I think it's a really, the original movie I think is a ton of fun for that reason, because it's almost making fun of slashers at the time, which is something we don't really see happen a little more like in a more popular sense until we get to Scream or even like Jason Lives, right, and like 86 or 86 is when that came out. I love like kind of meta horrors like that. So Slumber Party Massacre has always been like kind of a favorite, and then this remake kind of does the same idea but just spins it in a different way, in a more with a more modern approach.
100%. Yep.
And it's got some great kills. It's got some really fun characters, and honestly, dude, if you haven't seen it, I think it's easily one of the most underrated outside of like the Wrong Turn film on this list, because I think it really does the original justice while also kind of taking it down its own direction. It also comes from a director whose her name I cannot think of for the life of me, but she also made the movie Match from this year on Tubi, which is or last year, I mean, on Tubi, that was crazy underrated. Did you ever see Match?
Dude, I'm always looking at Tubi's films too. So this was like a Tubi original?
This was a Tubi original, and dude, at least for me, I've yet to see a Tubi original that I really really enjoyed, really loved, would really rave about. And then someone recommended this movie to me, and I put it on, and I'm like, ooh, it's kind of Barbarian with extra steps, I'll be honest, but it was good enough for me to recommend it to other people, I think. So Match was in my opinion, the best Tubi original I've seen so far.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one. Yeah.
Yeah, both share the same director, which is really cool. And I both movies I really like and think deserve a little more love. So if you haven't seen them, highly recommend. But cool. Anthony, I am totally with you though, dude. Silent Night, Deadly Night, I think is definitely the better film. You made some great I think you made some really great points about it. The other thing I'll say is I think talking about Mike P. Nelson's creativity, how he kind of puts that spin on Crystal Lake in Sweet Revenge. He kind of puts his own spin here on Silent Night, Deadly Night with the ending, everything that happens to Ruby Modine's character kind of, kind of switching the switching forces or whatever. I don't want to say any more than that if you haven't seen it, but it's it's a really good twist. It's a really nice little lineup for maybe more to come in this timeline of the Silent Night, Deadly Night franchise, and feels fitting with how weird and bizarre that series get. Like we were just talking about, entry number 5, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, which is a weird fucking movie. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think it started off as a Silent Night, Deadly Night movie. They recut it or whatever to be, kind of in that universe. But it's just with how bizarre that franchise got, for this movie to get a little bizarre too towards the end and go beyond just a slasher. I think it kind of encapsulates the whole franchise in one movie. So for me, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2025, not only is it an excellent film, does a really good job at just, paying respects to what came before. And I think is the clear winner here.
Amen, dude. Yeah. Like you said, it did everything that the original did, but he put his own little twist in there and it made it more fun to be honest. Like that whole scene where he goes into the party and just starts fucking hacking everybody. I'm just like, wow, okay, nice. Like this is crazy. Yeah.
Lots of fun there, man. Lots of blood, lots of guts. Some upsetting kills, but also it's got a Dexter thing going on where it's like, okay, well, he's killing bad guys.
Oh, you're right. It definitely does have a vibe like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of fun. So if you're into Dexter, if you're watching the Dexter videos on this page, even shameless plug, then you gotta check that one out for sure. But
nice.
It looks like this is another landslide. Wow, I really thought some of these would be closer, but we're just landslide after landslide tonight. Y'all want Silent Night, Deadly Night to move forward?
I think the next side will be a way closer. Yeah, for sure.
I think you might be right. I think when we get over to the other side, it's going to get a little more intense here. But we're going to stop the poll there. Silent Night and Deadly Night is moving forward. We're moving up to the top right now where like Anthony said, I think this one's going to be a little closer. We have Hellraiser 2022 and Candyman 2021, both movies that deserve a little more love. Anthony, what are your thoughts on both of these?
Okay, so Um, now, I love the Hellraiser franchise. I will not lie and be like, "Oh man, I've seen all the movies." I'm sorry, I have not seen all of them. Some of them, like the internet one, maybe I can't think. I don't think I've seen that one.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, I
Some
was
of
gonna
those are
say,
bad.
I think maybe it was the one before Judgment. Yeah, not Judgment. I definitely have seen Judgment, but I haven't seen the one before that. It was a different. I can't remember. Anyways, Hellraiser 2022. This movie was refreshing, man. As somebody that actually enjoys the franchise, I thought this movie did a really good job. The gal that was in it that played, dude, I thought she actually kind of looked like Kirsty from like the first movie, man. Like I was like, oh man, she looks similar and everything. And I know they, had to switch up, obviously not Doug Bradley, but the priestess looked pretty cool. And I thought the Cenobites looked pretty solid. I thought the whole aspect of like, it being like a cage, like the house and everything. Like, dude, when the movie starts out and they bring in that guy and he like kind of chooses him and he starts, finishes the box and it pokes him or whatever, draws his blood, and then like you see him hung up in the background and stuff. You're like, dude, like that's some Hellraiser vibe. You know what I mean? Like that's some good shit right there. And I thought like they did a really good job at the end to kind of set up like a sequel, which I, would love to see, was beautiful. Exactly, man. Like the film looked great, dude. It really did. Like all just the house and everything. It was like, almost like labyrinth in itself, like cool, CGI looked good. Like it didn't look too, over the top or anything. So I thought it was solid as shit, dude. Honestly, I can't think of the director. I can't.
For Hellraiser.
Yeah, for Hellraiser, I can't.
So it was directed by David Bruckner, who's like, I'm trying to think some other movies that you might know. Like he did some segments for VHS. The Night House, maybe. Have you seen The Night House?
I have seen The Night House. Yeah, that was actually a pretty solid movie too.
Yeah.
So it was good, dude. Like again, like I would not be surprised if they did a follow up. Like again, I just think the movie like gets a little bit of hate, to be completely honest. I thought it was solid. Like if you want my honest opinion, I think the first 4 Hellraiser movies are really good. Inferno is great. I love the detective aspect of Inferno. That's a really good one also. But for me, I think it's probably like top 3, top 4, really, to be honest. I think it's better than 4. It's toss up between 3,
Yeah.
1 and 2 are always going to be my favorite, to be honest. Meeting Doug Bradley was a fucking bucket list kind of thing. Such an awesome guy. I remember when you had him on stream, I was like, dude, I don't even know what to even say to that. Dude, you had him and Manfredini on the same fucking stream, dude.
I was sweating. That was the most nervous I've ever been before a stream.
Bullets, dude. That's crazy, man. Dude, mad props to you, dude. That's fucking insane. But dude, again, my bad. I feel like I'm talking a little too much about it.
No, you're good.
Hellraiser 22, solid ass sequel, dude. I thought it was great, very well done, looked great, like she said. Candyman 2021. This movie is a juggernaut. This movie is like one of those that, dude, honestly, you were talking number 1 seed, and I think I just don't have as much nostalgia for this film, but I think overall this film is so well done. So my buddy, we're doing this thing where we're picking our top 5 favorite scenes from a franchise. First one that we did was Halloween. My buddy then selected that we do Candyman next. Didn't quite get to it, but we're getting to it in a couple weeks. So we just rewatched 1, 2, 3, and then this one, obviously. Dude, I remember when I watched this for the first time. This was the first Candyman I ever actually watched.
Okay, nice.
It was the same night that Halloween Kills came out on Peacock because COVID and all that stuff. And so we watched Halloween Kills, and then my brother's like, hey, we should rent a movie. We're renting Candyman. And I was blown away, dude. The whole, like, the score, the over-the-head shot. Like, dude, Nia DaCosta just fucking killed this movie. Like, it is super beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Yahya Mantine, or what, Abdul Mantine. Like, dude, he fucking kills the role as Anthony, man. Like, I know, like, a lot of people are upset that maybe Tony Todd's not in the film and he's only there at the end. Totally get that, but I kind of like how they, came up with like these other Candyman throughout, like, history or whatever. Like the new guy Sherman or whatever, pretty scary dude, and he's scary throughout the film and stuff. And I love how they bring it back from like Anthony being the young boy that was saved throughout the fire with Helen and everything.
Yeah.
Dude, the original film is actually very fucking good, man. Really good.
It's a masterpiece. It doesn't get
Dude,
its
dude,
dues.
honestly, that is like the perfect word for it. It is so well done. It is actually very Hellraiser-esque, like the vibe and just like the lens look very much like that.
They're
Uh,
both from Clive Barker. I don't know. I don't know if you know
exactly,
that or not,
right?
but yeah,
Yeah. But I think 2021 is probably my favorite of the franchise. So
hell
uh,
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Candyman 2021. I think this movie is a very good. Is it a requel or whatever it's considered? This movie is probably one of my favorite horror movies of like the last 5 years. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, rock on, man. Yeah. So okay, that's gonna be a Candyman vote. So just getting that on there. There we go. And I will also say we have some questions from the chat, and I don't know if I made this clear or not, but yeah. So as you can see by the thing that's our little ticker at the bottom here, it's saying $1 equals 1 vote. So any super chat that comes through, whatever movie you want to move forward, you can absolutely make that happen. So if you send a 5, that's 5 votes for something, and we only got 2 up here. So you could completely decimate us. Say if we're just speaking some crazy ass language up here, if you're like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Hellraiser 2022's got to move forward. I don't know,
Dude. I should have sent in $10 for I Know What You Did Last Summer.
You could have saved it, man. Yeah. You could have saved it. That would have been brutal. The Scream fans out there would have just rebelled against you, I think. Right. But yeah, Amy. So that is absolutely still in play. But chat gets 1 vote. I get 1 vote. Anthony gets 1 vote. So it's kind of how we're playing it tonight. But it's so hard to disagree. This is a really tough one because I think that both of these are really fantastic. 2 franchise continuations that I think don't get enough love. I think Candyman maybe especially because I think so many people were so ready to write this one off because Tony Todd really isn't featured in it that much until like literally the last shot. Like,
yep.
And I will admit that does feel a little disappointing, but I think that Yahya Abdul Mateen II, which like crazy handle, bro, mad respect, fucking awesome. He kills it in this. I think he's super. He gives a really creepy performance, and there's some like gorgeous cinematography. Like, I mean, maybe one of the best shot movies on this entire list.
I could not agree more, and that's why, she had mentioned about Hellraiser. Like, this was a crazy good matchup of like films that just looked absolutely fantastic for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, both of these are shot really well and have some like really gorgeous set pieces. Hellraiser, if it's that crazy mansion you were talking about, or just Candyman, like being set against all of Chicago and high-rise buildings, Cabrini Green, whatever. It's a really gorgeous looking film, very very like nihilistic, with a lot of gray tones, upside down shots. Just it feels very daunting to look at, but I kind of love it.
Yeah, 100%.
And another I'm sorry, there's just, you bring up Candyman and it just gets me all excited, gets my nuts all up in a twist. Candyman, I love the score for this movie, and I think it is such a choice to do something more atmospheric and moody rather than the iconic score from the original, the do 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 do, to not have that really in there. That's a really bold choice, I think.
Yeah, it sounds so good, and again, the crazy thing about the film was this was my first Candyman film. I had seen scenes from the original and all that good stuff, Be My Victim and all that, good stuff. But literally I thought Helen was a bad guy. And then you find out at the end, like, oh no, Helen saved you and stuff like that. I think one of the best scenes is when he goes back to meet his mom and he was like, hey, they told me I was born in this hospital, in Cabrini, what I mean? And then you find out the history of everything that happened. You're like, whoa, dude, this is a good twist. So, but unfortunately, Amy is throwing haymakers out here, and it looks like Hellraiser is probably going to
win. look at this, 20 votes for Hellraiser. I
love it.
Damn, Candyman stands no choice. I'm with Anthony. I agree. I love this though because I think Hellraiser it's a great movie. Both of these don't get enough love for what they were able to do.
Dude, amen. I totally agree.
So I'm going to throw my vote for Hellraiser out there too. I'm not going to lie. I was going to vote for Hellraiser, but Amy spoiled it. But Candyman deserves some more love. Nia DaCosta did a great job with this one, as well as 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Did you see that one?
Oh, dude, that was the best part of that movie was how fucking dope it was shot, dude. The scene when fucking Iron Maiden comes on and he's all fucking running around and the fucking God, what am I? The smoke and the fires going everywhere and shit. And I'm just like, dude, this is off the chain right now, dude. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, I thought she shot that movie really, really well. So
Old Nick.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see like what she does like with her next film and stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what she does next. Her horror releases, I think, are just fantastic. Easily some of my favorite things from her. So definitely can't wait to see what she does next. Amy, thank you so much for the 20. I really do appreciate the support. And yeah, it looks like just based on the... I'm so sorry, Candyman. Audience did... I will say the finals here, though, was Candyman 2 versus Hellraiser 21. So it wasn't like a complete destruction. I feel like that makes it feel a little better. But audience, we do appreciate you voting. It does mean a lot. Not too bad. But yeah, it does look like Hellraiser is moving forward. I love that, though. I mean, again, Hellraiser, really fun choice.
Dude, I would be interested to see if they do a sequel to it, to be honest. I think I thought it was more than a good enough done film that they deserve. They set it up really nice, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did it.
I hope. I just don't know if it had the same. Like, it didn't go to theaters. I think it was like a Hulu original.
Yep.
So I worry that it just didn't get enough like viewership or whatever reason. But I hope it gets more. I hope it gets something like, dude, for the future.
Fucking previews of that game. What are we talking about, dude? That game seems very Resident Evil-esque, or like, I can't remember some of the other games that people were talking about, but dude, that seems so well done. They brought Doug Bradley in to like do the voices and stuff. I'm just like, dude, that gaming is knocking it out of the park this year, to be completely honest. Yeah.
Dude, Halloween and Hellraiser, is it Revival? Is that what it's called?
Revival, I think, yeah.
I'm definitely so excited for both of those. We will be playing them on the page. Don't you worry. But yeah, both of those are gonna rock. I'm honestly a little more excited for Hellraiser. Like, is that crazy to say? That the story just looks like it's gonna be fucking killer.
Some of the gameplay I've seen of the Halloween one seems a little bit, dude. What was kind of scary about the Hellraiser game is like it was more so like when you go into the labyrinth and there's like the shots where like you're looking down into like you're on like a cliff or something, and it just like, I don't know, man. I feel like the monitor, like, it's gonna make that game look fucking sick, dude. Like, I don't know, but like in a scary good way. I don't know. It's just, yeah, for sure. I'm stoked.
Oh yeah, so look forward to some gameplay of those on the page, hopefully soon. But yeah, moving into our next one here. This is our like Universal Classic Monster mashup. These are at least two of my favorites of the newer ones that we've gotten here in the 2020s, which is of course The Invisible Man from Mr. Lee Winnell and The Mummy from Lee Cronin. Anthony, what are your thoughts on both of these continuations?
Dude, when I saw this one, I was like, dude, you just set these up like really well, man. I think that these matchups were
Thanks,
like
man.
very, very, very well balanced. Dude, this is gonna be crazy. I'll make it short and sweet, dude. We went and saw The Mummy. I thought the movie was fan-fucking-tastic, dude. And like, dude, literally at the end of the movie, like, it had such a great payoff, and I won't ruin it for anybody that maybe might not have seen it in theaters or whatever, but the movie just had a really good payoff, and I didn't know if it was actually going to happen. And then when it did, I was like, oh, thank you, man. Like, this makes the movie so much better and stuff. And it was solid. Like, I think people were saying, like, because, people were, is Lee Cronin maybe linked to, like a Nightmare on Elm Street film or something? I can't remember if he said he wanted to do that or something, but like, this film just felt like an Evil Dead. Like, I heard Mike and Jay talk about it. Like, it really did. It just felt like, suburban, like, I guess when they go back to Arizona, or I guess wherever they were at, it just felt like an Evil Dead film. Like, the girl was pretty creepy and the whole thing, and just like the scenario, very creative. Like the idea, them like having a house above like the tip of I'm guessing a pyramid or something, right? Or something. It's just like, dude, this is crazy.
It was almost like an oasis, like where they were living. Wasn't that kind of cool?
True. Yeah, very true. Well shot film, dude. Well shot. However, I'm going to go with Invisible Man 2020. Dude, I think this is one of the best, like, remakes that is not talked about. Like, dude, this movie was so well done. I thought the main actress did a fucking fabulous job. Pretty scary. Like, there are, like, definite, like, scenes in this where you're like, whoa, man, they did a fucking great job with that. Like, the suit and everything, and how she's trying to get away, and just, like, the whole, I just like it. I think it's, oh, I don't want this to sound bad because Lee Cronin knocked it out of the park with The Mummy. He really fucking did. But
Oh yeah.
to me, Invisible Man is just a little bit more rewatchable. I think, just my personal taste. So, I'll probably go with Invisible Man. Yeah.
Dude, and I gotta agree. I can't stress this enough. The Mummy rocked so hard, and I understand why it didn't work for everybody. You know, a lot of people have some good points about it. And I will just say this once again: if you haven't voted yet, please make sure to vote by typing a 1 or a 2 in the chat. I don't think we have too many votes, so vote for the Mummy, vote for the Invisible Man, whichever one you like more. But to kind of talk a little bit about the Mummy, I think, like you said, it's an Evil Dead film with like a mummy, and that's inherently like something I, of course, would be super into. I love the Evil Dead franchise, right. And there's some great performances I think in here, some really fun little creepy moments. Lee Cronin's signature brand of like disgust horror, while also having some like cringe moments, which like I feel like that's kind of just his flavor, and I love that about this movie. But dude, Invisible Man, I mean, I'd go so far as to say that I think it's one of the best horror movies of the 2020s. Like, I think it would be in my top 10.
Let's go. 100%. Yeah. Top 10 for sure. For sure.
It's just so well done. I mean, Elizabeth, what's her name from Handmaid's Tale? It's not Elizabeth Moss. I was like, it's not Elizabeth Olsen. That's wrong. Elizabeth Moss, so good in this movie, dude. I mean, one of my favorite horror performances across the whole decade.
Does a great job, dude. Yeah, 100%. And it's actually pretty creepy, like pretty scary, like a little bit, like some scenes and some parts. It's just like kind of has that paranormal activity vibe or something like of the sort, but it's just like, yeah. It's good. And dude, I'm such an idiot. I forgot Lee Cronin did Evil Dead Rise. So like I would pick Evil Dead Rise probably over The Mummy, like out of his 2 films. Man, I just think Invisible Man, it's one of the, not only in the monster verse, but it's one of the best like remakes I've probably seen in a fucking minute.
And yeah, like the other thing about Invisible Man, if you haven't seen it, if you're like, why are they like blowing smoke up the Invisible Man's butt right now? What's going on with this movie? What I'll say about it is that there are some scares in this movie that are just so unique to this film that I don't know where else you could get this kind of like paranoid horror. But there's a scene in this movie where like the main girl has like basically dinner with her sister kind of vibes, and it's like everything's so chill, everything's like whatever, they're kind of talking about what's going on with her, and then suddenly like the knife, like they're in public, mind you, the knife just flies up in the air, and it's like, what the fuck? And like she's just shocked, she doesn't know what to do or say, and it like slits the sister's throat, and blood just starts going everywhere, and she's like, like fucking dead, and everyone thinks it was her. It's it's just like there's a ton of scenes just like that in this movie, and it's the craziest. Like, what would you do in that situation? You'd be so fucked in that situation. What would you do? Everyone would just think it was you that was doing all these awful things, and someone in this invisible suit was just completely destroying your life. It's such a great paranoid thriller while also kind of dealing with this super like high concept sci-fi situation at the same time. I think it's brilliant.
So well said, dude. So well said. I couldn't agree more. It's very reminiscent, or just kind of, I love Hollow Man, Kevin Bacon Hollow Man. It kind of has a
very
vibe
similar, right?
Yeah, but I think it's like you said, the paranoia like vibe is way more amped up in Invisible Man. But Hollow Man, love that. Like, it's just, I love that film. Yeah.
I feel like this is absolutely like this is more like doing Hollow Man a different way than Invisible Man. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's some elements of that film that were like kind of reverse engineered essentially to make Invisible Man 2020. But yeah, if you haven't seen Invisible Man, dude, like it's so good. It's really well done. And I love when a movie doesn't have to fully explain something. There's an element to this movie that's very subtle and is never outright said about who is actually in the suit, but like it's just like, yeah, of course it's that person in the suit, but they never outright confirm that or show it to you, and they don't need to. And I think it's brilliant. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm kind of stepping in?
Dude, so well said, dude. I totally agree. It kind of just starts up and you realize she's in a bad relationship, but they don't go into it, and she's just trying to get out of it. Like, that's it. Yeah, 100%.
And they never spell anything. Like they're the main bad guy is like, you really never spend any time with them until like 2 minutes at the end.
Yep.
But like through all of the other characters, everything you need to know about this guy. And it's just like, oh my God, this is so like, it's kind of a masterpiece, and it doesn't get talked about enough, I think.
Agreed. Very much agree.
But I don't want to discredit The Mummy, because I think this was a really fun movie that,
Yep.
that I really hope more people come around to, because I know it was a little divisive upon release, but I thought The Mummy was a ton of fun. And again, I do hope it gets its flowers a little more as time goes on. But I think I'm definitely going with Invisible Man.
100%. Yep. Both great movies, though.
Are you going with Mummy? Is that what you were voting for?
I'm going Invisible Man for sure. Yep.
Oh, then I'm a silly fella who decided to put your vote up there. Okay, so 2 votes for Invisible Man. It's looking close in the votes, guys. So we're gonna give you guys a couple more minutes to vote here. What are we looking at percentage wise with this? We have 40% of the vote going to The Mummy and 60% of the vote going towards Invisible Man. It's very close. Only 5 people have voted. By the way, what is going on here? Make sure to vote, because this is like a couple of votes and The Mummy could get a vote on the board here. So just saying, just throwing that out there.
I like what people are saying, like Alpha Warlock. The Mummy was still fun, but I enjoyed Invisible Man more for sure. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, and I think that it's a solid matchup, but overall, I'm just Invisible Man, dude. I think it's just a better movie. I like The Mummy, but it should have been titled What Happened to Katie. Could have been a great horror mystery. That was okay. Well, I'm going to throw this to you, Anthony. Some people don't like that it was a mummy movie. What are your thoughts on that? Like, should this have just been like a more straight up like Evil Dead kind of clone, or what do you think about that?
Oh, dude, see, I thought that's what made the movie great. Like you said, decisive. Like I was like, or divisive. I was like, I didn't really know that anybody had said that. Or, dude, I thought the mummy aspect was dope. Like I thought, like, you know, like the woman trying to be like, oh, here, I have some candy for you or whatever, and then they steal her, and like the guy's like trying to get to her, and then like everything starts happening, you know, like the dust storm and shit, and he's chasing her. Dude, as a parent, you're just like, dude, that would just crush you. And then to find her, and then things start happening, and you're like, dude, yeah, can we trust our daughter? Like, what is happening? Like, dude, it was crazy. Like, honestly, like to me, I thought it might have been a little bit long. Some of the maybe scenes might have maybe shortened up or something. But dude, like at the end, it's so amplified, like the music and like everything that's going on, dude. It's just, I don't know, man. I thought it was solid. I thought the mummy aspect was very cool. I thought it made it kind of just different than we've seen in a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree that like it could have, you know, it was maybe a little long. Some scenes went on for longer than they probably should have. But I enjoyed that. I think there was some like really interesting like chances taken. Like there was that last scene. I personally loved. Some people were like, I didn't need that. Like you should have cut that last scene from the film. I don't know. I thought it was dope as hell. I thought it was really fun.
Dude, you needed the last scene, man. I loved it, dude. I was like, what a payoff, dude. I was like, please, like let this woman like receive this karma. You know what I mean? I'm just like, please, yeah.
Dude, for real. I thought it was, I don't know. I thought it was fun. It almost turned it into like a revenge thriller kind of thing. But
exactly, yep.
I will also say, I want to ask you about this. Are you still working on videos over on your channel?
I just did one for Lego Batman, some gameplay. What happened? Am I reading this right? Did I get cloned?
I don't know. I think Gina just wasn't sure if this was the link to your channel or not.
That sounds right. 7244. I think so. Yeah, it actually has like a Child of the Corn or Children of the Corn like logo, but it says Child of the Corn. So yeah, that's
singular.
Singular. Yeah, exactly. I'm from Nebraska, by the way, so that's kind of why. Yeah,
that's why you're called that. I love it, dude. That's killer. Well, see, as an Ohioan, I can respect that. We also have a lot of corn here, so
yeah, dude, makes the Midwest great. Yeah, honestly, I love how we get all 4 of the seasons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I much like people always say that they're always like, you know, either out west or, you know, and stuff like that. And they're like, man, Nebraska is truly like great about that. Like, every season hits pretty well. Like, we see all the beauty from all of the seasons. So that's pretty great.
I've learned to love the seasons as I've gotten older. I still hate, you know, wiping snow off my car every year, though. I will say that. But yeah. Okay. But yeah, I love fall. Like fall is just my favorite season. I'll live here forever for that.
Yep.
But anyways, we have Alpha Warlock throwing 2 out there. Thank you for the support, my friend. That is going towards Invisible Man. So I think it's time to call this, because Invisible Man has 4 votes on the board. And also, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, they're winning. That's 5 votes for Invisible Man. So sorry, Lee Cronin. Brutal out here.
However, if he was chosen for Nightmare, like we've talked about. I would be happy with that. Honestly, I would definitely be happy with that.
Dude, absolutely. So a few directors have thrown their hat in the ring recently about that. We've heard Curry Barker, Mike Flanagan talk about wanting to do Nightmare. Is Lee Cronin like top of your list to do the next one?
Oh, yeah, dude, I will be interested to see what Barker does with the TCM film. I will be interested. However, dude, I think Lee Cronin's perfect, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I was thinking the whole time as I was watching The Mummy, I'm like, this dude can carry this vibe over to a Nightmare movie for sure. Like, for sure.
Because it's like it's grounded in reality, but there's this like subtle supernatural element to it, and I think that's kind of what Nightmare needs, right?
Amen, dude. Well said. Yep.
I'm totally with you on that one. I actually think Lee Cronin would do a really good job with that. Okay, but anyways, hang on. I'm having trouble with polls. We're doing polls. The next one, which is I think Anthony's favorite mashup of the night. We have Halloween 2018 versus Friday the 13th, 2009. Anthony, I know this is not an easy one for you, but dude, what are your thoughts here?
Oh, this one is so tough, dude, because actually, I think both of these films might be my favorite of the franchise, both franchises. I love 2018. I know a lot of people sometimes, don't like the whole thing that they did with Jamie Lee Curtis, but I do like that aspect. I like how it's kind of like a fucking, she's not psychotic, but she's just ready for anything to happen, and stuff like that. And it's just, dude, David Gordon Green probably gets a lot of slack or whatever from fucking, ends and stuff and how that trilogy ended. If 2018 was a standalone film, it would have been a fucking bombshell. I still think it's a bombshell. I love Kills. The trilogy altogether is not that bad. Ends was just maybe not something that people wanted, but 2018, just the vibe is so good. James Hugh Courtney does such a great job. I mean, probably my favorite Michael, to be honest. Do like Dick Warlock in the second one. But yeah, James Hugh Courtney did such a great job. Met him at Scarefest. Great dude. And seeing that in theaters, I do remember being like, holy shit. Like I was just blown away. I'm like, man, this is like, I remember It 2017, right? The It first remake, and then Halloween coming back out in 2018. I was like, man, it seems like horror's kind of like back up. Like in my vibe, I thought, hey, it kind of died down like a little bit. And then when I saw like this film, I was like, oh man, like slashers are back, dude. Like, and then you obviously get like Scream 2022 and stuff coming out, and it was a bombshell. Like it did really well. Dude, this is so tough, man. Because I would say that I probably like the Halloween franchise a little bit more than the Friday. Dude, I just don't like that Jamie Lee Curtis, like Mike and Jay had talked about this shit where she was like, I just don't think that the Halloween franchise could have continued on without me or something like that. And she just kind of smug about it, man. Like she's kind of just like turned me off a little bit, dude. Like I feel like she doesn't embrace like what this franchise kind of done for her. Like she's a great actress. Don't get me wrong. She's been in other great shit. Like it just, she's really good in the movie too. I really like how the movie ends in the final act. I'm going to go with Friday the 13th. I don't know why. Derek Mears is great, dude. Meeting him was awesome. And I love Mark Nispel, again, in the bag with this one.
Yeah.
I love this vibe. Like they capture everything. You get Baghead, Jason at the beginning. The title sequence of this film, like the first 20 minutes is so fucking great. The girl's in the fucking sleeping bag above the fucking fire. And he's just, running at the guy that has like the bear trap on his leg. And it's so amplified, like that first 20 minutes. And I just like the way it looks, it's shot and everything. And, this was a film that, even in the 2000s still got a little bit of nudity, kind of like what Friday the 13th kind of had throughout, the 80s. So it had that vibe. I just love it, man. I love it. So I'm going to go with Friday the 13th, 09 for sure.
This is like, I really wanted to put these two together because, Halloween and Friday have always been like these cousin franchises in a way. I mean, Friday the 13th, the original, is like literally self-described as a ripoff of Halloween, but doing it a little differently. Yeah. I personally feel that both franchise they both found their own identity doing similar things, but I love them both for different reasons. And I think both of these entries, like you said, definitely some of the better ones in both franchises. And like, I'll even go so far as to say Friday the 13th, 2009. I think that this is my favorite Friday the 13th film. Like, I think it's just very well done. The kills are amazing. The characters suck, but like, that's the case for all the Friday the 13th movies pretty much. And I weirdly vibe with that. Like, I kind of feel like something that really matters to me when it comes to franchise continuations is that you find a way to put your own spin on things that are pillars of the series. You know, don't completely change it from the ground up. It's still got to look like it's part of the same franchise, but you got to put your own personality and style onto it. And I think this movie does a really good job at like kind of taking everything that was great about Friday from the past and things that maybe weren't so great about it too, but finding ways to do it in 2009. So modern for that time period. And I think Friday the 13th does this really well. Like you said about Marcus Nispel, I think that he kills it with this one. He kills it with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. And something else I can't praise enough about this film, Shannon and Swift, baby. Some great fucking writers who put out this year's Send Help, directed by Mr. Sam Raimi. But they're really fucking awesome writers, and I think they deserve some more flowers because they put out some really fucking cool movies. But I think when it comes to Halloween, the reason I'm going with Friday here, not to reveal it too early on, but I think I'm going with Friday because Halloween 2018, I don't know if I don't dislike what they did with Laurie Strode in this movie, but there are times where this movie gets a little too campy for me. Like, we just have some line deliveries here, especially from Laurie, which I don't necessarily love. It doesn't necessarily work for me. And it's just, I don't know if it's trying to be super campy or what the deal is, but I'm just like, man, like, okay, relax. You know, Laurie Strode is trying to be our new like Dr. Loomis, and it's just not working. I don't know. That something about this trilogy that I think, there's a million things we could talk about regarding Halloween Ends that don't work for me, but just as a trilogy, looking at all three of the David Gordon Green films, the thing I think I dislike the most is like turning Laurie Strode into this character who is kind of like your Dr. Loomis. I like the initial setup of she's still traumatized 40 years later. Everything that's going on with her family life, that's great, but the whole, like, she's running around town with the guns and stuff, I don't know if that works for me. I'm going to be honest.
Nice. Yeah. And like, I felt like that was kind of like what Scream 7 did with Nev, which I was totally for.
Yeah.
I liked it. There was like, again, some of the writing, maybe not the best for, Nev playing that part. But dude, I'm sorry. Like, I do like that aspect of 2018, to be honest, but you're right, dude. It's just like, you're like, damn, did Laurie go fucking tip the bus off? Like, did she break Michael out and so she could chase him down or something? Or like, you know what I mean? But no, she obviously didn't do that. But I like you said, I think I like the actors better in 2018. Andi Matichak does a good job. Like, she's awesome. Not saying that the cast in Friday doesn't do a good job. They do. I can't think of the dude. Padalecki. He does a good job. Like, he's good. I can't think of the other actress that's in there that he's with. She's pretty famous. I can't think of her name, but I thought they did a good job. Like you said, in most Friday the 13th movies, you don't really, the cast doesn't have to be absolute, bombshell, actors for the movie to be solid. I almost feel like I kind of want to change my fucking answer. Damn it. This is a tough one, dude. I'm telling you, I was thinking about it because I just,
You got a great point about the characters in Halloween, though, dude. Yeah. Like, I didn't mean to make my whole thing about shitting on Halloween 2018 because, dude, Andi Matichak, great fucking final girl in this movie specifically. I want to make that so clear. Big asterisks on this because I think they destroy her characters in the sequel. But big but. Halloween 2018, dude. Andi Matichak, I think she is such a great start to a final girl in the series. I would even go so far as to say Allison in 2018, maybe my favorite final girl in all of Halloween, and I know that's sacrilege, right? Everyone's like, Laurie Strode is like, come on, she's the best, Jake. But I don't know. I think Laurie Strode in the original kind of just serves as like the vanilla ice cream of final girls in a way.
That's great description. Yeah, I love vanilla. Yeah, nice.
Because listen, vanilla's great, but it's basic. It is the thing to look to in terms of like, okay, here's where I start with writing my final girl. Look at what they did with Laurie Strode, and then kind of make your deviation. That's why Sidney Prescott is so great, because they basically were writing Laurie Strode, but instead of her being the virgin that lives through it, she breaks the rules and still lives, and that's what makes Sidney so fucking awesome in the original Scream. Laurie Strode, I don't know. I guess as time has gone on, if it was 1978 right now, I would probably have a totally different opinion, but because it's 2026, I just feel like there's been better final girls. And me personally, I just prefer Andi Matichak in this flick. I think she's a badass. She's a like super like independent woman kind of feeling. I love everything between her and her boyfriend. I mean, like, dude throws her phone in nacho cheese. Fuck that dude.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was pudding. We talked about this. We were like, is that pudding or is it fucking cheese? What is it? Because it looks about the same. Yeah. No, I think it is cheese. Yeah.
It's under weird lighting though, so maybe it is pudding. I just in my mind I'm like, that's nacho cheese.
Yeah. Dude, actually, it would make it easier if it actually was 78. I would definitely pick 09. Weirdly enough, dude, I'm gonna actually pick Scout as my favorite final girl of the franchise.
I love that, dude. I love that.
I love the remake, dude. I think the remake is solid as fuck, dude. I think Rob Zombie just gets a lot of hate, man. Talk about somebody that I felt like maybe deserved a TCM chance at doing a film, but
oh man,
obviously Dave Barker is, he's gonna do great things. But you know what, dude, I'll keep my answer. I'll go with Friday 09. Yeah, for sure.
Well, it looks like Friday 09 is moving forward because JJ has just thrown $10 towards that one. JJ, I really appreciate the support, dude. I love that. I will also say though to Rob Zombie, like real quick on that Rob Zombie note, at least he did make House of a Thousand Corpses, which is basically a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Right? Yeah, 100%.
That's what whenever I hear people say that, they're like, oh, I wish Rob Zombie made a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm like, he kind of did though, in a way he kind of did make. That's just too. No, I'm just being silly.
That's actually spot on. Who is that guy? Who's the guy that plays the cop? It's the guy that's in the Rob Zombie remake, the stepdad or whatever. I can't think of his name, but he plays like the Dennis Hopper character of TCM2. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That it's slipping me too. Rob Zombie's got like a few people that are like in all of his movies.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, dude, I can totally see that now that you say that. Actually, spot on. Yeah.
I do understand why people would come away from House of a Thousand Corpses or even Devil's Rejects and be like, oh, I want him to do Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking Devil's Rejects. That is what I'm thinking. Isn't the cop in Devil's Rejects? That's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. They're sequels, right? Yeah. So I think I think after those movies, I get why people want to see him tackle Leatherface. But I'm like, if you want Rob Zombie Texas Chainsaw, there you go. It kind of exists, right? Yep. So I love those movies. I'd love to see Rob Zombie make something more akin to that. Hopefully, again, 31 is great. Why we're spiraling here. Anyways, going back to this. Right. I think I'm also going with Friday 2009, but I love Halloween 2018. I don't want to sound like I dislike it, but I think I also have a little bit of nostalgia for Friday. This was my first Friday the 13th movie that I ever saw.
That's dope. Yeah, I was just at high school when that film dropped, and I remember going to the theaters and being like, dude, Rob Zombie killed it with the remake. Let's see if this film is just the same. Dude, that's what I'm saying. The remakes in the 2000s, they're so slept on, man.
That's very slept on, and a lot of them are very good. We're about to talk about one that's not very good, but that's okay. But I think you like Nightmare 2010, don't you?
Dude, I do. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, I do. Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah, man. No, I think like we'll talk more about it in a sec because there's parts of that movie that I fucking love and I think are great. I just don't. The whole thing doesn't work for me as a whole, but there's parts of it where I'm like, yes, I'll defend that to my dying day. But real quick, to wrap up this poll, Halloween 2018 has taken a single vote home from the audience, which is pretty damn cool. Sure. Thank you for everyone who's voting. We got 10 votes this time around instead of 0, but that's okay. Appreciate that. We got Halloween to get a point on the board, but sadly, it looks like Friday is moving forward. So Friday the 13th, Jason gets to see another day. I wish the same could be said about his appearance on film, but hopefully we'll learn more about that sometime soon. Moving forward, though, and I didn't mean to come off as a dick there, by the way. I love that you love Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. I just want to say Child's Play 2019 versus Nightmare on Elm Street. I want to hear your thoughts about both of these. I don't know how you feel about Child's Play 2019.
Dude, I wouldn't say purist. No, definitely not a purist. Child's Play is hands down. It's like right there. Let's say if I was picking overall franchises, Child's Play actually might be on my Mount Rushmore, to be honest.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's so hard with the Holy Trinity because the Holy Trinity is so good. All of them, you know, Jason, Freddy, and Michael, obviously, great franchises, great antagonists. I remember sitting down and renting this movie, and I was with my family, and I was stoked because I was like, man, nice. Like, we're getting another Child's Play movie, which, I thought Colt and Curse were good. Let's see. So Colt would have been the last one, and then this one came out. Mark Hamill, he does the voice, right? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. Dude, I never had such disappointment after watching. I think if somebody asked me like, what movie did you watch and you just had massive disappointment? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. It just had to be 2019, dude. This movie, it started out really good. The vibe was really good and everything, and it was pretty eerie and stuff like that. And then when it goes with the whole like AI thing and kind of all that stuff, kind of went off the tracks for me personally. Dude, it's not a terrible movie. It's not. But I was just, as somebody that just grew up loving what Brad Dourif did, for Child's Play and just like building the character of Chucky, dude, I was just a little bit disappointed. Now 2010 Nightmare, dude, like this movie I have way more nostalgia for. Like I remember watching it back in the day. Katie Cassidy, she's great in it. Kyle Gallner's good. And the guy from Watchmen,
Jackie Earl Haley is
Haley.
Freddy.
Dude, I don't think he does a bad job. I think just the maybe overall CGI look, and even then, dude, I don't think it's that bad. Like, I just don't. And I know a lot of people would I know it gets a lot of hate, dude. I just don't think it's that bad of a film, dude, to be honest. Like, in the Nightmare franchise, obviously, would I have it above Freddy's Dead? I even like Freddy's Dead, dude. Like, there's not a Nightmare film that I don't enjoy. Like, I can find good things in all the Nightmare films, including this one. So, and like you're saying, like there are some really good fucking scenes. Like the opening scene when the guy's in the diner, it just has such a Freddy 4 vibe. The neon lighting, just the smoke rolling off like the boiling water and shit. It just looks so good. And the Katie Cassidy scene's like really good and stuff. I kind of wish she would have been the main girl, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just think it's pretty solid. It's not the best film ever, but to me, my vote's going to be 2010 Nightmare for sure.
Dude, hell yeah, man. I love that you love this movie so much because I think whenever I try to talk about it, people are just like, Jake, you're crazy. Like that movie's just dog shit from start to finish. I don't think so. I really don't think I don't think it is. I think there's an inherent problem with the movie, and it's taking certain elements from the past that probably should have stayed in the past and making that so upfront about Freddy Krueger. It's just like I can never really get into that. I think story-wise, really a lot of this comes down to the script and the direction of the film. I don't necessarily love, but that doesn't mean there's not good things about it. Like I think Jackie Earle Haley's performance as Freddy, fucking awesome. Like I think he killed it, and I think this movie kind of proves that someone else can play Freddy Krueger. There's a lot of purists out there who are like, it's Robert Englund all day, and I respect it. Like he made that his character, but I think Jackie Earle Haley proves to me you can have someone else do Freddy really well.
Well said, dude. Yeah, like again, like dude, it is going to be so hard to replace oh my gosh.
Robert Englund?
Robert Englund, jeez Louise.
Oh, you're good.
It's so crazy. We watched that Body Snatchers, and then all of a sudden after Tubi played Freddy's Nightmares. Had never seen that before, ever.
I just watched that for the same time, for the first time on Tubi as well. That's so crazy.
I was like, man, like this isn't the best. Like, don't get me wrong, but man, this like it just proves that like Freddy was massive in like the 80s, and just like they were just trying to have it anywhere and everywhere. And to me, it's kind of a creative thing, but it just wasn't as well produced, obviously, as the films. But dude, he's just gonna be so hard to replace, dude. So hard to replace. But like we were just talking like last week or whatever, like they just got to do it, man. They just got to take a shot and take a chance. I know the whole thing with like the rights and everything is very much up in the air, and that's kind of sucks. And maybe Wes's estate just doesn't want to give it out to anybody, or just anybody or whatever, which I can totally, that's fine, or whatever they want to do. But or didn't you say it was like more like overseas or international rights or something?
It's a little bit of both. So, the Craven estate, I think, owns just like the American rights or whatever, and then like I think it's what is it, Lionsgate or some, or no, it's New Line. Sorry, New Line like International owns the international stuff.
Okay.
It's just kind of one of those situations where like if they made a Nightmare on Elm Street, it would have to be like this joint production. They'd have to get permission from the Craven estate. You got to get a lot of people to talk and work together that maybe just don't want to talk and work together kind of situation. We're not 100% sure. That's speculation, but I would love to see that happen eventually. Because like let's compare it to what's going on with Jason just real quick. Like how Horror Incorporated was technically on the one side of that lawsuit. So someone from Horror Incorporated was able to like give permission to Crystal Lake, which is coming up later this year, to be able to use like Jason, which they won that on their side of the lawsuit. Sorry about all the boring legal jargon bullshit up here, but I think this is fun to talk about and is important.
Amen,
Crystal Lake is going to have Jason because technically they have somebody from Horror Incorporated, which is Sean Cunningham's company, involved on the production. Even though it's again speculation, but it seems like Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller don't want to even be in the same room as each other. A lot of hatred there.
Crazy. I'm still stoked for that show. Like regardless, even if it was just Pamela Voorhees, I'd still be stoked for it. A lot of people don't. I think the first film is great. It's a great slasher film, dude. Like I think it is. It's actually a really well done one. But yeah, dude, replacing Robert Englund, it will be tough, but I think they'll be able to do it. My vote would be Richard Brake.
Yeah, he would kill it, man.
I think he would be great. I think he kind of like, I don't want this to sound bad, but I just feel like he could fit the look and everything. And I think he's a good actor and stuff. And just, yeah, they'll find somebody, dude. I'm telling you, they just need to take a shot at it.
100%, man. It'll happen eventually. You can't keep Freddy down. Come on now. But kind of putting my 2 cents on this. I love that you love Nightmares 2010 so much, and I think that like there's a lot of things about it I love. Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy. The opening scene I think is one of the scariest things in Nightmare on Elm Street history. There's something about it that just really works for me. Maybe because it's because it's shot through a modern lens or something, and some of those other sequels get a little more silly and campy. But there's something about that scene that it literally gave me nightmares, like when I was younger, and I love it. Kicks total ass, really bloody, really brutal. One of my favorite Freddy kills, honestly. But this is a close matchup. I put these two together because these are some of our most supernatural killers from the entire list. I think I got to go with Child's Play 2019. I agree with all your criticisms on it. I think that it's I think that it's like you just can't. There's some things about Chucky that you can't switch up too much. This is another reason why I put these two together, because these have certain actors behind these killers where it's like if you change that too much, you're going to lose something, And I think with Freddy, you got to find something that's really going to work in order to replace Robert Englund. And we're kind of seeing that in real time with Child's Play 2019, where it's like you made Chucky too different, and now he's not even Chucky. Like if you do a new Nightmare on Elm Street, you can't make Freddy too different from the original version, or else you're gonna fall into this territory of, well, okay, now he's just a killer doll. Chucky's more than a killer doll. There's a really cool setup. He was a serial killer using voodoo to put his soul into a doll. That's unique as fuck. That's killer.
100%.
Compare that to something like Megan, where it's AI technology, whatever. Like that is inherently at the base level something totally different. And Child's Play 2019, it's kind of just Megan, or Megan is kind of just this, however you want to look at it. It strips away some personality from the series. But the one thing I do love about this film is I think it's got some great kills and a fucking excellent cast that I think gets overlooked because people walk away from this movie feeling like they didn't really watch a Chucky film, rather a killer doll movie, which I would argue is two different things. So I get that, but I think this is a well done film for what it is. Even if that CGI is fucking bad. Like both of these movies have bad CGI, dude. Oh right. Man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. The kill with the whole, isn't it with like the Christmas lights or something? And it's like a tiller? Is it a tiller or something? I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's like a, I want to say they have like a garden or something in their front lawn, right?
Yeah. And which is cool because like originally Child's Play 2 was supposed to be set around Christmas, if I remember hearing right. That's why they had all of the boxes or whatever that they did for the warehouse at the end, which they switched.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be a Christmas setting kind of thing. which would have been pretty dope. But I think, dude, again, Mark Hamill does a good job. To me, he just wasn't as scary, I guess, as you would say, Brad Dourif. There is just something about Brad Dourif, man. When that voice starts to cackle and he starts to fucking lie, it's just like, oh man, when I was a kid, I was terrified, dude. Terrified.
Yeah, I think that if you're gonna do Chucky, you have to have like kind of the same setup, but put your own spin on it. You can't just do like, okay, well, actually, he's just a murder bot that has a murder switch on the back of his head. Like, it's like, come on, that just feels that felt really cheap to me. That didn't feel like Chucky. I want him laughing and hiding his true identity. You don't have any of that in Child's Play 2019. And I think that is something that whatever the next Nightmare flick does has to remember to respect where Freddy came from. But put your own, like, whoever is the writer, whoever directs it, put your own spin on Freddy. Don't change Freddy fundamentally. I should probably, with how much I'm shitting on Child's Play, I should probably go with Nightmare at this point. But
one thing that sucks about Nightmare is well, like, again, the thing with Freddy is they okay, we don't have to get into it. It's more like the whole aspect of him, never mind. The whole child thing, which kind of doesn't sit easy with you at the end. You're just like, damn it, like that's not good or whatever. So it kind of makes you like just not like the movie at all, or you know what I mean? It's like
it's too far.
Yeah, exactly. We dig Robert Englund as like a character and stuff like that as Freddy, but it's like, ugh, he's like a child killer at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it kind of like sucks. Yeah.
Well, and they talk about, like how that's always like, I don't know if it was Wes Craven or someone part of the production talked about how like that was always a thing with Freddy, but it's like I feel like it's more so implied versus just outright spelled out like how it is in some of the other movies.
Amen, dude. Yeah, exactly what I was trying to the point I was trying to make for sure.
And that's my big thing about it. Like you got to keep that shit subtle. Like I don't want to like I like having like, to me I think what's really fun about Freddy is like he's running around, he's chasing people, he's ripping them to shreds, but he's like it's kind of like an Art the Clown thing where it's like he's having fun doing it. Amen. And like I want to be able to have that fun with Freddy. I don't want to, if I know if you just spell that out about him, I'm not on this dude's side. Fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
Like, the parents were obviously right. Yeah, 100%.
So I think you can't suck the fun out of Freddy. I mean, come on now, don't be doing that. But I think both of these movies do inherently have their issues, but I think it just comes down to which one do you prefer, which one you're kind of vibing with a little more. But I gotta give Child's Play 2019 some love because I think there's some cool stuff going on in there, is what I'll say.
Nice.
But anyways, so this is going to come down to the chat. We're going to give you all a couple more minutes because it is close. 3 votes for Child's Play, 2 votes for Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. So this could change in a couple. Throw a vote out there. This could go one way or the other. So audience decides. We're going to give you all like another minute, and then we'll see what ends up happening here. So Child's Play 2019 or Nightmare 2010. Type a 1 in the chat to vote for Child's Play. Type a 2 for Nightmare 2010. Is there any other thoughts that you want to throw out there about this movie, Anthony?
Yeah, honestly, dude, I probably should just watch Child's Play 2019 again and just see if I like it again more so like than I did like the first like couple times. Maybe there's something there that I'm kind of, dude, it's not a terrible film. Like, it's not that, again, like when I said I watched it, it was more so, I just think I had it amplified in my head, amped up so much where I was like, because I just love the franchise. The franchise is great, man. But I do, again, man, Platinum Dunes, man, they just make good looking movies. Like, again, I know some of the CGI with Haley wasn't maybe some of the best, but I think he had some good lines in there and stuff. Like, it was, just I think it's just more my style, I guess.
Yeah. The performance is there for Freddy, I think for sure. Where and I will say, and this might be controversial, I don't know, but I think I prefer Jackie Earle Haley's performance as Freddy over Luke Skywalker as Chucky in Child's Play 2019. Because again, I feel like you strip Chucky of his personality with the setup.
Yeah, I love Mark Hamill. I mean, honestly, one of the best Jokers of all time, probably.
100%.
He's and again, it's not really his fault. It just Chuck, he just doesn't seem as scary in like the rest of the franchise. I mean, I guess he's not that scary in like Curse or Cold, but like, you know what I mean, like just the original vibe of Chucky. So
yeah, like he's got a certain personality that you gotta uphold. Come on now. Okay. Anyways, we've got a few more votes in there, and it looks like the people have spoken, and they have said Child's Play. So
love it.
We're gonna stop the poll right there. I really do appreciate y'all a ton. Thank you for voting. We got now we're moving into the second round. The shit is getting real. We are getting down to finally picking a winner, essentially. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the beginning. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 versus Evil Dead 2013. This is an insane matchup. Anthony, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it could be a finals, matchup, to be honest. I won't go too in depth because we already kind of have, like, I'm just gonna go TCM03. It honestly is probably going to be my, selection throughout. But dude, Evil Dead, so good. Like, actually, and dude, everybody has their own opinion. They can definitely have their own opinion. Some podcast shows up on my feed sometimes on Instagram, and I just heard them like bad mouthing 13, and I'm just like, dude, I just cannot agree, man. Like, I don't not see what you guys are like not seeing in this film. Like, I just felt like it was so well done. And dude, Fede, man, like, I love how he's jumped to like different types of films. Like, they're not all the same at all. And I just love how like Alien, Evil Dead, they like trusted him with the franchise enough to be like, dude, go out there and he just crushed it with both films. And again, dude, it's just more nostalgia with TCM03. Like, we literally just watched it and I was like, that movie, it's just like so amplified throughout the whole film. Like, it really is a lot of cringy like moments. Like, you don't like, that was another really great scene is when they're trying to get away and she's trying to start up the van or whatever, and then he comes through and he's killing her, and then he like looks back and like looks up through the headlights, and her boyfriend's like face is like on his face or on his head, and you're just like, dude, this is crazy, man. Like, Jessica Biel does a great job. She really actually does a great fucking job, and
she's a great final girl.
She really is. And it's kind of crazy that she did like that one horror. Did she ever do another horror film? I don't know. Maybe. I don't
Not that so. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but she's great in this.
But I feel like I do remember her showing some appreciation for what they accomplished with this film, which I do appreciate and respect. So that's pretty dope. So I'll probably go with TCM03, but it's by like, not by much for sure.
I respect it, man. I do. TCM 2003 is a lot of fun. I got to go with Evil Dead 2013. I've said my piece about this. You were kind of saying earlier about how, like, you're like, oh, dude, like, what's the perfect horror film? And like, your answer to that's TCM 2003. I think my answer is Evil Dead 2013. Like, it's a simple movie. It's a single location, couple of characters, and we're just a lot of people are getting chopped up, blood spraying everywhere. We got demons coming out of the ground, blood rain. I'm just, hell yeah, that's what I'm looking for, baby. Yep. So Evil Dead 2013, baby. I love it with my whole damn heart. But both of these movies are so good. My God, I mean, whatever wins this fucking deserves it, man. Because these are some great ass movies over here.
Yeah. Question: is that your favorite of the franchise?
Dude, I want to say yes, but I really do. There's an argument, I think, for every single Evil Dead movie to be the best in the franchise.
I figured you were going to say that. I had a feeling. I was like, I don't know if for me it is. That one, the remake's my favorite. But what Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi obviously accomplished with all the other ones was fucking super legendary. And Sam Raimi, a very underrated fucking director, man. Fucking Darkman. If anybody's never seen Darkman, they should definitely go watch Darkman. Dude, it's like his Batman film pretty much. So yeah, I love Darkman.
I think if you like, the other thing I'll say about Darkman is that if you like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, you have to fucking watch Darkman, because it's like you can almost see, like, this is a weird way to put it, but you can almost see some like early like Spider-Man isms there, but like it's more Sam Raimi. It's even more Sam Raimi than the Spider-Man movies, I feel, in a way. You know what I'm talking about?
100%. Like in Spider-Man, like when they do like the newspaper and it's like spinning and it's like da-da-da-da or something, and then like there's not actual like replicas of that and or in Darkman, but like you would know what I mean if you watched it, like you were saying. Like it's like the transitions and stuff. It's that's what Sam Raimi is. It's the transitions and just like the way things are shot, angles and stuff, but more so the transitions that you're like, oh, this is definitely a Sam Raimi film.
Yeah, and he has a very specific style personality about his movies that it's like only Sam Raimi would make that choice there. Like even watching Send Help, you know what I mean? Like there's this outrageous jump scare in Send Help during a dream sequence that it's like only Sam Raimi would put that scene in this movie. Like this movie does not need that scene, but of course Sam Raimi's going to put that there, and I love it because it's Sam Raimi, you know? Like have you seen Send Help? You know what I'm talking about?
Great film. Like absolute. Like honestly, I would say that film. It is probably by a hair that I'll take Obsession, but that movie was very, very well done. Like that movie was a bombshell. Like I was expecting it to be good, but not as good as it. Like Rachel McAdams did a great job, dude. She did
100%.
The dude from I can't think of the movie that he's from. He did a really good job too. I know his face, but I can't think of his name. But
Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah,
no, they're both fantastic in that for sure.
Like what a great duo they had. You know, they were just great together, and I thought that movie was really well done.
Yeah, but I just Sam Raimi did a great job with the original, and I think that's always going to be like I think like objectively that's the best one because they made that movie for like no fucking money and it's still so good. But I just Evil Dead 2013, like it's a movie that very early on scared the shit out of me. I love it so much. And I really like, I don't know. It's like in my heart, it's my favorite, even though I think objectively the original or maybe Evil Dead 2 is like the best. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's a toss up. And like, just like with Scream, everybody has their favorites for different reasons. The first one's great. And you can tell that it's, you know, very much like, to me, the second one's kind of just a remake of the first, but it's more amplified and more slapstick, which I love. Second one's fun, man. Second one's great. Bruce Campbell's in his bag in that one, and it has the stop motion kind of Beetlejuice-esque kind of stop motion at that time, and it's super fun. Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta get the show on the road because we are running a little over time. But Evil Dead 2013 is taking the vote by one, baby. Oh, it's close. It's close. But my baby is taking it. I'm so sorry, Anthony.
Oh, totally valid, dude. Like again, I love both of those films. Like Evil Dead. Again, man, I love Fede, man. What he accomplished with that film, awesome.
Hell yeah, man. A lot of great movies on this list today, and I'm just vibing with it. So, anyways, moving forward, we have ourselves Scream 2022 versus Silent Night, Deadly Night 2025. Quick thoughts here. Which one do you think is better?
Scream 2022. I'm sorry. Love Mike P. Nelson. What they did with that film, love it. But Scream, my favorite franchise. Like it's, again, I told you all the, you know, nostalgia that I had with that film at the time and everything. And so, yeah, I'm going to go Scream 2022 for sure.
Oh, shit, I didn't start the poll. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, rock and roll. Okay, poll is up. Vote 1 or 2. You guys got 2 minutes on this one. We're gonna make this one kind of quick. But, you know, for me personally, I kind of want to see, I want the audience to decide this one. So I'm going to vote Silent Night, Deadly Night 2025. Nice. Just to see what the audience ultimately says. I also think Silent Night, Deadly Night 2025, I think it's got the better kills. And I think just at its core concept, I think I maybe enjoyed Silent Night, Deadly Night just a little more. I was a little more intrigued by where this one was going ultimately. Mike P. Nelson's got that creative spark that he brings to different franchises that I thought was really cool. And Scream 2022 definitely does some new things for the series, but also, you know, it's a Scream movie at the end of the day. It's like we're going through the ropes of that. And I think Scream as a franchise inherently, I really want to see them try some new things out that maybe Scream 2022 doesn't necessarily hit as hard on the head that I would like it to. But I do love this film, and I love Radio Silence. I think I just love the creativity of Silent Night, Deadly Night. You know, I think that's what's given it the edge for me, at least.
Dude, well said. Well said. Like Mike P. Nelson, like you said, it's a well more put together or creative like aspect kind of film than 2022. Like I said, it is like the Force Awakens of the franchise. Like literally it's just kind of like a retelling of kind of the same vibe of the first one, but I think it's really well done, don't get me wrong. But yeah, but Silent Night, Deadly Night, solid ass slasher film, dude. Solid.
Yeah, these are both great, man. These are both really fun. I've definitely seen Scream 5 more than Silent Night, Deadly Night too. I will also say that.
Yep.
I think maybe in a weird way, Scream 5 is a little more rewatchable. But I think I don't know. I just kind of you know, the other thing I like about Silent Night, Deadly Night that I really like, that another reason I want to defend it is like you were talking about with Rowan Campbell. I just feel like his performance, like this movie made me like Rowan Campbell after Halloween Ends was kind of like I don't know how I feel about that, you know.
Yeah, dude, he showed up in The Monkey, which he had a very short role or whatever. But dude,
Yeah.
I mean, like he showed his chops in this film. I knew he had it, dude. Like he did a good job as Corey. I just didn't think they should have just introduced. Like we don't have to get into it. I think he did a good job as, but he did a fucking fantastic job in this film, man. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
perfect for the role. Like he was perfect, man.
100%, man. Well, it sounds like the people have spoken. They want Scream to move forward. I figured. So let's stop this bad boy, and we'll take that at face value, baby. All right, all right, all right. This is gonna be fun. Evil Dead and Scream in a second here, but first we have Invisible Man. If I can find it here, there we go. Rock and roll. Hellraiser and Invisible Man. Thoughts on that? That's a tough one.
I'm probably gonna go Invisible Man by just a hair. I do probably like obviously the Hellraiser franchise more. And I think it's a very well put together film. Invisible Man, like you said, it's the paranoia, man. That's what just sells that film, dude. It's just super amplified, and it just I don't know. You're as a watcher, you're like you said, you're just kind of paranoid, like watching the whole film. Like it is paranormal activity, but with a singular character and an antagonist or whatever. So it's just
Yeah, that's comparing it to Paranormal Activity is really interesting. I see what you're saying though, man. I love that. I think when it comes to both of these movies, they're both like they're both kind of reinventions of their concepts. Hellraiser is definitely, kind of utilizing, I think, the Cenobites a little differently than some previous movies where they're kind of showing up a little more throughout the flick, where, you go back to that original Hellraiser and they're kind of just like the Cenobites show up at the end and you're like, oh shit, all that shit that Frank was talking about or whatever is like totally real. That's crazy. But Invisible Man, I think, completely flips the concept on its head. Like, we're hardly even hanging out with the Invisible Man, where he was kind of like the focus of some of the previous films. I really liked, I like just making the Invisible Man strictly the bad guy. Like, that was a really solid choice from Lee Winnell. And I don't know, like, in terms of like what these movies did for their franchises, I just feel like I'm much more invested in Invisible Man. Not that Hellraiser's bad, but it kind of just feels like we're doing more with the Cenobites. We're kind of changing up the lore like a little bit. Where Invisible Man is a complete, like, top to bottom, doing it totally differently, and in my opinion, much better too.
Much better, yeah.
So I gotta go Invisible Man on this one as well.
Yeah. Again, I do like what they did with Hellraiser, and like how you said, like the different approach to it. I did like the approach, kind of changing it up, obviously. But dude, Invisible Man, it's solid. I remember when Dace was like, "Have you seen Invisible Man?" And I was like, "I haven't." And we sat down and watched it, and I was like, "Whoa,
dude,
bombshell!" Yeah.
So I'm curious, when did you see that? Because this was the last movie I saw in theaters before the pandemic happened.
Babe, when do you think we watched that? It was probably like 2023 or something like that, or 2022. It was probably something. I think I randomly got it in like a $5 bin, like DVD, and I just so had it. I almost want to say that I think the Wi-Fi went out and we just turned it on my Xbox and we watched it, and I was like, whoa, like this movie, yeah. So I think it was just like kind of by random, to be honest, yeah.
Rock on, man. Oh my God, that's so cool. Yeah, because like I think it was a special film for me because it was the last one I saw in theaters before we couldn't go to the theaters for a very long time. So
yeah.
I was kind of like, oh man, I wish I was in the theater watching Invisible Man again. That was some good times. Months ago. But so I think I kind of have that like a weird nostalgia for this movie a little bit too, because it's like it was the last one I watched for a little while and didn't go to the theaters. But it's also just a great movie. Like it really holds up. I've seen it a few times, and I own the steelbook for it. That's how much I love it. So
nice. Yeah, dude, I've been seeing you were doing the physical media shorts and stuff. Love it, dude. Physical media just needs to be embraced more and more. Like I just feel like we're getting to that point where we were literally just talking about that today, how we need to buy like some TV show series, like, and stuff like that. So yeah,
streaming services cost way too much, man. That's crazy.
It's cable all over again, dude. Truly.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
Truly.
I'm trying to convince my fiance. I'm like, if we just spend that money on physical media, we don't need to, spend money on streaming services. I'm crazy though. But anyways, getting back to this, it looks like Invisible Man is taking the cake and moving forward based on some of the votes.
Nice.
Very good stuff. That was the right opinion, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, we're moving forward. We got Friday the 13th and Child's Play. Two slashers going head to head. What are your thoughts on these two bad boys?
Um, no offense to Child's Play, like I don't even think this is even in the same realm. Just my opinion, but yeah, I'll go with Friday '09. I'm again, like I said, Derek Mears, awesome guy. He just killed it as Jason in this film. Like, dude, Kane Hodder. I mean, like, dude, Kane Hodder did such a great job. And to me, I think the best overall look, and I know this is going to sound crazy, is probably 8 for me. I think the mask just looks great in 8, and Kane Hodder just absolutely killed it in 7 and 8. And I think he was still in there for X, I think, if I remember right. Was he Jason X? I think so.
He was yes, because I think that's his last movie, because he's not in Freddy versus Jason.
Okay, yep, I think so. I think he was supposed to be or something. But anyways, Derek Mears, he's my favorite Jason. I mean, it's just, dude, he just plays the role so well. And again, I just love how the film embraces a little bit of 1, a little bit of 2. They do the origin story, very short, sweet, you know, straight to the point. And then, you know, him finding the mask and everything, it's super fun. And it just shows like how he super outdoorsman, you know, and all this stuff. And just, it's like the scene when they find his mom's head in the little cabin or whatever. And then he's through the floorboards, like macheting the dude's fucking foot and hand. I'm just like, dude,
it's so good.
So good, man. So yeah, it'll be 09 for me. Yep.
This is I'm with you, bro. This is a landslide. Friday the 13th, 2000. This is one of my favorite like 1000 slashers just in general. I think it's just very well done.
Yep.
And yeah, Derek Mears, 100% one of the best Jasons. And you know, another thing, Anthony, I don't think it's so controversial that you love the look of Jason in part 8. I think honestly, Jason looks the best in part 7 and part 8, in my humble opinion. I think those are my two favorite Jason looks of the whole franchise. Again, controversial, I know, but fuck, Wet Jason with the skeleton in the back. I love him. I love my boy Wet. What can I say?
Yeah, a lot of people say he's too wet, he's too juiced up and stuff, and I'm like, this is valid, but like the opening scene where he gets onto the boat that the young gal and the dude are like about to get down in like the little boat or whatever, and then he just takes the mask off like the steering wheel of the ship. I'm just like, oh, it looks so crisp and clean, dude. It just, when he looks back at the billboard and he's on there and he's just kind of like, what the fuck? Oh, dude, it looks so good.
This is I think we all know where this is going. Okay, let's we're gonna end this poll, just get into our final rounds before the final matchup here. Friday 2009. Come on, that's moving forward, baby. Okay. All right. I'm so excited for this. I've been waiting for this matchup. This is exactly how I predicted it would happen. And Anthony, that is rarely how it happens. But here we are, finally. Okay, Friday. Hang on. I'm making this happen. Friday Invisible Man is coming up, but first, Evil Dead 2013 versus Scream 2022. This is exactly how I planned it out in my head. What are your thoughts about that, Anthony? These two movies going up against each other. Which one's making it into the final round?
Dude, love Scream 2022. I feel like everybody knows where I'm going to go with it on this. I don't even think they're in the same tier, to be honest. I think Scream 2022, it is a great film. It really, truly is. To me, and I saw a lot of people loving it in the comments, which is awesome. Like, dude, I love that. To me, it'll always be probably in the 5th place of the franchise. Like the first 4, it goes in order. Like literally goes in order. I probably like 7 a little bit more than 6, to be honest. But it is a solid film, but to me, like, dude, the Evil Dead remake, it's just way above this film. I'm sorry. Like it Scream is a great slasher. It really is. But dude, Evil Dead, it embraces everything that came before it way more than what Scream 2022, does, in my opinion.
It's rare that a sequel or a reimagining like Evil Dead just goes above and beyond, and it's arguably better than the original. I think it's just like it does what the original does, but times like a million in a way. I don't know. This is no contest for me. I love Scream. I love the franchise. It's a ton of fun. It's great gateway horror. I think it's great. It's a great way of like learning about thoughts and feelings of horror fans and how people look at the genre. Scream is usually a really great beacon of that. Amen. But Evil Dead 2013, this is one of my all-time favorite horror movies, dude. I love this film to death. It's got to make it to our final round, and yeah, I like it a lot more than Evil Dead than Scream 2022. I'm sorry, Scream 5's great. It's a really personal film to me. This channel was kind of built on Scream 5 updates, so that one does mean quite a bit to me. But Evil Dead 2013, I mean, this was one of my like a horror awakening for me in the early 2010s, discovering this movie and being like, dude, this was one I picked out of the Walmart like $5 bin, and I'm like, ooh, that cover looks scary, and I watched it at home, and it was like the most scared I've ever been in a horror movie ever at a young age. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I'm kind of almost wondering if I do remember seeing scenes of it when I feel like they used to play it on FX. If I might be wrong, I don't know. I feel like I maybe saw some scenes of it. I just remember when they were advertising the film, they're like, "Oh, it's the scariest film like ever," and all this stuff, and I was like, to me, when I just watch it, I'm just like, that's just not my type of horror. I'm a slasher dude, and so it's not my cup of tea. But then when I got around to watching it, I was like, oh, blown away, dude. It's great. That's, again, meeting Fede for the first time. Like, dude, I'm so interested to see. I mean, he's kind of like in his production phase now, which is totally fine. Like, he's kind of in his Jordan Peele, like, I'll be, executive producer or whatever, but like I will be interested to see like what he does like with his next film.
100%, man.
I don't think they said he was doing the Romulus follow-up. I think they said there was going to be a sequel, but he's not doing it, which is totally fine.
He's producing it, which is cool. But yeah, he's not. I don't think he's gonna. I think they just announced Michael Sarnowski to direct. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He did a Quiet Place Day One.
I do remember hearing that. Yeah, 100%.
So that's a great choice, though. Choice, though.
Yeah, dude, Romulus is probably one of the. We went and saw that twice in the theater, and that's probably the last 10 out of 10 film that I probably have seen. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, dude, Romulus was fucking awesome. One of my favorite Alien sequels, and that's saying something in a franchise that has some really fucking good sequels, dude.
That's what you did. You did the physical media, and I said that, dude. I feel like the Alien franchise gets hated on a little bit. I know we're going a little bit off topic, but like, dude, my love for like the first 4 films, which your case or whatever was like, I love the first 4 films, dude. Like, I feel like the 3rd and 4th one get hated on a lot, and I think they're pretty well done, to be honest.
Dude, Alien 3 has really, really, really grown on me. I used to hate that movie, dude, like with a passion, but like the more I come back to Alien 3, the more I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. It's kind of sick, man.
David Fincher, and like I know some of the CGI is really bad, but I embrace it because it was just it was a piece of the time. You know what I mean? So yeah.
There's an assembly cut that just released on streaming that I'm kind of thinking about watching sometime. I hear it's like the superior version of the film. Feels more like what Fincher wanted for the movie originally. I gotta watch it.
Dude, don't watch it. I'm telling you.
What?
No.
Oh, is it bad?
No, you can watch it, but I guarantee you, dude, we were watching it on HBO Max, and I was like, I don't remember this. I was like, did I choose a different thing? And just the way they play out the scenario or the storyline, it just doesn't fit as well, in my opinion. But
ooh, okay.
Just watch it. Just watch it, and you give me your honest opinion. I think the original cut's way better. Yeah.
I like my thing about Alien 3 as it stands, like the version I've seen of it, is I just feel like it's a little too nihilistic for me. Like it's a little too like nihilistic. It's just very like just very negative. It's like we're killing all the characters you loved from Aliens. It's like, how can this be a sequel to Aliens? It's just such a tonal shift. I wish it was just its own story. I wish it was just like, here's another story happening in the Alien universe. That would have worked so much more for me, opposed to being a sequel to Aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not Sigourney or something. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I do respect it, though. I think it's a very well made and competent movie.
1000%, dude. I actually like the storyline, how they just, that's kind of just what Aliens embrace. Like somehow the xenomorph shows up at a place unexpected, and it just kind of, it just shows you different settings around like this space or whatever. So
yeah.
I think it's fun, man. I think it's kind of fun and different change of pace compared to the first two, to be honest.
and that is what I've really come to love about it, is that it is such a, like, it's not the same movie as the previous two. And that, like, that's my, I think what I've realized about Alien 3 is I'm like, well, if this was just aliens again, it probably would suck more in a way, you know? Like, I'm glad that Alien 3 has its own personality, its own identity versus the other films. It really does stand out for that reason. So, and there's, dude, there's a couple of scenes in that movie that are like all timers for the franchise. That scene with the alien in the fucking vent and the guy gets blown into pieces. Like, you know what I'm talking about? That's fucking brutal in that film.
Yeah, when he's cleaning the vent and stuff like. And again, I like that it's a singular xenomorph. Like, I just love like how it just, you know, there's not a big, you know, it just, I love that movie, dude, a lot more than the people, you know. A lot of people do not like that film.
Yeah, but I've come around to it. I've seen it a couple times now, but I still like Alien. Alien's definitely my favorite. Romulus, I think, is number 3. Alien 3 is up there somewhere, though. I have a newfound respect for it recently. But anyways, we're stopping the poll there. Evil Dead 2013 is moving forward. I'm so sorry, Scream fans. You know I love Scream, but it's just, come on, Evil Dead 2013, baby. That's got to move forward. Okay. Next up on the docket, what will go up against Evil Dead 2013? Either Invisible Man or Friday the 13th, not 2022, Friday the 13th, 2009. Anthony, what are your thoughts on that combo?
Real quick, dude, and I'm not trying to get too off topic. Would you have picked any other Scream movie over Evil Dead, though?
If it was the original Scream, I would have to go with the original Scream over Evil Dead 2013.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. I can dig it. Only the original. Yeah, that's all I was asking. Yeah, I figured probably just the original. Yeah.
Because dude, if Scream didn't exist, I don't even know what the fuck would we even be doing up here right now? Like, there's so many movies that wouldn't exist without Scream 1996. Like, there's majority of the genre would not exist without Scream. I mean, not only did it rejuvenate the horror genre and kind of brought it back to like this forefront of popularity, but at the same time, you know, Scream kind of makes this own subgenre of fun, more like not kid friendly, but like young adult friendly horror movies. It's not just for horror. And this isn't a bad thing in my opinion. I love that horror was for the weirdos and for the sickos, but not every horror fan is like, I want to see the craziest, most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life. Scream made horror a little more accessible. You know what I mean? And I think widening that audience made horror just like a bigger cash cow, meaning that more horror movies are made. So because of Scream, I feel like there's probably thousands of movies that were able to be made because of that one film.
Love it, dude. Well said. It's like the Scooby-Doo aspect of horror movies, to be honest. Yeah, dude. So I think you got to go with Scream in that situation. Okay, so my bad. On the next one, easy for me. I'm a slasher guy.
Friday 09.
I love the well, you wouldn't call it sci-fi, but more so, well, maybe a little bit. Just Invisible Man is fucking great, dude. But dude, Friday 09, I just love slasher films just way more. This movie has a bunch of nostalgia, and I just think it's really, really well done. Like, dude, honestly, you know, compared to Evil Dead, obviously TCM, maybe Halloween, it might actually be the best remake out of all those remakes, possibly. So I'll go with Friday 09. I think you're on mute, brother.
You're right. So no, I could have just been saying anything back there. No, but no, I think I love Friday the 13th, 2009, man. I've watched this movie countless times. I have bought this movie 3 fucking times because I like it so much, because they just keep making new versions of it.
You get the Arrow version?
Yeah, so they I had like a DVD of it, then I bought the box set, and then I got the 4K because I'm just like, I need this fucking 4K of this movie, man.
That's what I got Derek to sign was red Sharpie. Dude, it looks so crisp and clean, dude. But yeah, that Arrow version. Actually, I kind of want to get Jason Goes to Hell and X, because they both also look very good, the Arrow version. So even TCM did, dude, Arrow does good versions of crazy movies, so they just do a good job. Yeah, so I definitely
they do too. I have a Vinegar Syndrome press of TCM2 which
Nice.
is like the sound is terrible, but but everything else about it is amazing. I love I love the case, but I need I need a version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 that doesn't have awful fucking sound. Maybe one day I'll figure that out. But do you own that movie, just out of curiosity?
Dude, I do not, but I think I know what you're talking about. With some Blu-rays, you'll get like the Scream Factory, and they'll be talking, and you'll be like, I kind of need to turn up the volume a little bit. And then an action scene will happen. It'll be like, wah, wah, and you're like, oh shit, dude, like this is way loud. Like,
Dude, that is exact like my Vinegar Syndrome press of TCM2 is exactly that. It's like the dialogue, you have to turn it up to like fucking 60, and then like anytime then the chainsaw revs up and you got to turn it down. It's like, oh my god, fuck, man.
I have some versions of Urban Legend Final Cut. I have a Scream Factory version of that, and it does that really, really badly. See, I feel like the foreign sets don't do that very bad. Like, to be honest, nothing against Scream Factory. I love Scream Factory. I've had some really good copies of Scream Factory. Some labels or titles or whatever. But I definitely know what you mean, dude. There's some Blu-rays that I own that do that same thing.
It's crazy, man. Well, it looks like wow, Friday the 13th coming away from this one, just taking the W. Hey, I love it, man. Friday the 13th, 2009, a lot of nostalgia for that one. I've seen that. I've definitely seen that movie more than Invisible Man. I will say that. But Invisible Man, it's a masterpiece in my mind.
It really is. Yeah.
Love both these movies, though. I'm glad that Friday is moving forward. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. All right. The final battle, the final pick. This is a really interesting final matchup here because we have two very good movies in my opinion. Friday the 13th, 2009 versus Evil Dead 2013. Anthony, which one are you picking?
Yeah, for like the title of the stream, continuations of like over the last, since 2000, like couldn't have picked two better titles that, like you said, embraced everything before it, did a good job of like just showing what the franchise is all about. And dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, I love Fede and stuff. I'm a slasher guy. My buddy had came up with the question, and I think I'd heard this from like people throughout or whatever. They were like, what is like the most like historic or memorable or nostalgic piece of horror ever? And they were like, is it the Jason mask? And I was like, honestly, dude, it probably is. And he was saying that, more so like, well, it wasn't found until like the third film, which is a valid point. I just think it's the most recognizable. And, maybe Ghostface or Freddy's glove or something like that, or, Michael's mask, obviously. But to me, I think I was surprised when I stepped into like the horror, like community that like, a lot of people embrace Friday, and like I think it's probably just as nostalgic as anything out there, like honestly, like yeah. So I'm gonna go with Friday 09 for sure.
There's something about the Friday the 13th movies that I think is just always going to be fun to kind of come back to those and watch. I think like the original movies, like it almost feels like you're in the 1980s and you're seeing the, the big movie everyone's talking about. It's got that energy about them, and I think that's why those movies are so fun. Friday the 13th, 2009 captures that, but in the 2000s, which like for me, it's nostalgic. And that's why, because I grew up in this time period where, my babysitter, who was also my cousin, would show us whatever the big horror movie was of the time. Like when it would finally come to DVD or Blu-ray, would put that on. And I mean, it would scare the shit out of us. This was one of those movies, like the Paranormal Activity movies. I remember they'd come over and show us some of the early ones of those. Cool. But I like a lot of nostalgia for this movie. I love it. It's a ton of fun. But I can't believe this is the first time we're bringing this up on the stream, but the stupendous tits line is crazy.
Your tits are so juicy, bro. Yeah. Like, I mean, and again, he plays that role so well. Like, it's just, dude, like the Asian dude getting fucked up like the whole time. And then even the scene where he like goes down into like the shed or whatever, and just like that whole thing. And then, the dude running up the hill and he just fucking grabs the axe and just fucking just great, dude. It just shows you just, but then he gets tied up into a chain, and a lot of people say that he's like, yeah, he gets beat up by Padalecki and that girl or whatever and stuff. And it's just like, whatever. I mean, I think it was a great kill scene at the end and stuff. Dude, what you were saying about the 80s though, isn't that pretty crazy to think like literally a Friday the 13th film was coming out every single year in the 80s, and like to me that's just like cool as fuck, dude. Like, what franchise has ever tried to even do that? I guess Saw possibly or something like that, but like
You just don't see that shit anymore, man. Like you just don't. And I know some of them weren't the best and stuff, but it was just cool to like have different people, try to go about making a Jason film and stuff. So
The closest thing to that, I think, because let's be real. I think all the Friday films are very similar to each other. I don't think that's a bad thing though, because it's kind of like you know what you're in for. You know what fun you're gonna have with this film. Let's fucking rock and roll. Let's watch Jason chop up some fucking camp counselors. That's gonna be fun. I think Saw. We kind of get into that same situation in the thousands, but like all those movies kind of tell a story up until a certain point, which is fun. And then like the VHS films, maybe more recently, I feel like kind of did that.
Dude, I need to get more into that franchise, man. Because didn't they just do like a Halloween one or something like that, like last year? Or
there's been 5 movies in a row since 2021, and like personally, I think they're varying degrees of quality, but I think they're all like really watchable. Like they're all really fun. Like put them on with some buddies, and just kind of talk, like have some conversations between all the skits and stuff. There's some really good stuff going on in all those movies. At least there's one segment at least in every single one of those movies that I think is like one of the best of the whole franchise.
Cool. And they're like found footage, yeah.
Oh yeah, have you seen any of those movies before?
Dude, I don't think I have, honestly. Yeah.
Oh, so like basically what it is like, yeah, they're found footage like short films, and they're all kind of like put together into a feature film. So like they're all made by different like really big names in horror, like Mike Flanagan and Kate Siegel made one for I think, what was it, the 7th film? I can't remember. Like, I'm just trying to think of some horror. David Bruckner, Radio Silence has made one.
Cool.
Like ton of really big name horror. Mike Nelson made one for VHS 85.
Nice, dude.
So yeah, ton of like big names in horror have made segments for this franchise, and it's just really fun to see like what they do with basically no money and a found footage setup. Like it's really fun for that reason. So, cool. But yeah, I love that about Friday the 13th and a lot of these other series where it's like you're kind of just getting the same thing every single time, but you're finding new ways to spin it because it's like we got this built-in fan base. What do they want to see? How can we make this something different? Even though we just put out fucking 5 movies already,
True. Yeah, I will also like, dude. 5 has grown on me a lot, and we don't need to do a deep dive into the franchise, but again, like you said, like just people taking chances on stuff, and dude, again, like I love this. 5 votes for Evil Dead is fucking fantastic, man. Like that movie, again, like you said, you saying it's like the definition of a horror film, could not argue whatsoever, dude. It is a great film, man.
So I just want to tally some of these up real quick. So your votes for Friday, just to make sure?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Rock and roll, babies. Okay, so Erica, thank you so much. You've made my day. Thank you for the 5. We got 6 for Evil Dead because I'm voting for Evil Dead. That's one of my favorites. I love Friday so much, dude. And you just heard me gloss that franchise, baby. It's so much fun. But Evil Dead is like that's my cup of tea. Fede Alvarez, I'm not worthy.
Dude, 100%, man.
But it is looking like the audience is voting for Friday, so this is a close race. If anyone threw in another super chat or something, this absolutely could make it over the finish line.
Speaking of that, dude, yeah, you talking about having a copy. I need to get a copy of the remake. To be honest, I don't think I have one, and I think you can get a steelbook for like reasonable price. I think I think I look on eBay sometime for steelbooks every once in a while. I think you can get it like fairly decent price
for Evil Dead.
For Evil Dead, yeah.
Oh, dope. Okay, so I have like just the 4K of it. I don't have the steelbook. I'm sure it's fucking sick though.
Oh, I feel like I've seen it's probably just the Blu-ray steelbook, like when they were doing those. So probably not the 4K. What 4K release do you have? Just like a regular one, or?
I think it's Arrow. It's an Arrow 4K of Evil Dead.
Nice, dude. Yeah. So
they're great, man.
Does it got like a slip on it or something?
Yeah, it's got a slip of the red poster from that movie. If you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
There's like a very red poster from that time period. Yeah, I have all the Evil Dead movies on 4K because like those are ones I watch those a lot.
Every single one, dude. Oh, dude, nice.
I used to have money. I don't anymore because now I have a physical media collection. But at one point we were rocking and rolling. But yeah, those are movies where I'm like, I have to have these on 4K. Bro, I'm gonna watch these movies a million times. So I have all those on 4K. I think the only steelbook I have though is the Army of Darkness Steelbook. They had like a mass sale of those through
Best Buy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Best Buy had a big sale on them for like a long time, and I was like, well, I got to pick this up. Come on now.
Pick it up. Yeah, I have a copy as well.
Nice.
Would you say that that's your favorite horror franchise, or is it Scream?
Like, dude, I think now, with how much I hated Scream 7, I think Evil Dead is definitely the new pick. Erica, thank you for another 2 votes. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, dude, Evil Dead is super fucking consistent too. Like, there's not a bad movie of the bunch, really, to be completely honest. Like, it is pretty just either top tier or actually, honestly, they're all pretty top tier.
Dude, 100%. I think they all do something really, like, they do something really, all of them do something really cool for the franchise too. Like, they're all either one-shot stories or, have something really cool going on with Bruce Campbell, try out a different kind of tone or whatever. I mean, Army of Darkness, there's not even really any fucking Deadites. It's an army of skeletons, but it's still so much fun. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, so it's a great franchise. Okay, Erica, thank you so much for pushing Evil Dead over the hill. That is going to be our victor tonight, and I'm the happiest little girl in the entire village. So I'm just so glad we've made that happen. But Anthony, I really want to thank you so much for coming on the stream, and I'm sorry we went so goddamn late.
Oh, it happens, man. Yeah, 100%. When you get into conversation, it just for sure. I appreciate you having me on, dude. The fun ass topic. Like, I love brackets and stuff. Dude, you knew me when I first was like in the community. I was always like, hey, what do you guys think of this matchup versus it? Just matchups are just so much fun, dude. I love them.
They're a blast, man. So while you're here, is there anything you want to shout out? You got anything going on?
Dude, so we are doing a segment with a couple of my buddies where we are talking top scenes of different franchises. Like I said, we not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday following, we'll be doing like top 5 scenes of Candyman, which is pretty dope, and I love to dive into that franchise. And then, as I was telling you, like, I have a couple ideas for some brackets that, if you want to join us, like, dude, that'd be awesome, because you always have great insight on these films and stuff. But I was thinking about doing a couple for some topics and stuff. So yeah,
dude, hit me up, man. I'm totally down.
Yeah.
I also love matchups, so I'm always down.
And like, I know like some people don't like it, but I love it because there's so many different ones that you can have, and it's just good conversation, honestly.
It gives me a great excuse to talk about I love talking about every single movie on the board right now. So I'm just so glad that we're able to, bring all these up again. It's awesome.
Amen.
Anthony, thank you again so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, everybody out in the crowd. Thank you to everyone who supported the page. That really does help keep the lights on. The other thing I'll say is this going to be the last stream of the month. So I have literally one more video that's coming out this month, and that's going to be on Backrooms, likely sometime this weekend. Your boy's going to be busy shooting some secret projects in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for some sort of announcement about all that coming in June. I don't want to say anything about it now because we're not finished with it yet. So fun announcements coming soon. Thank you so much for joining us for a stream. I'll see you all next Monday. Anthony, thank you for hanging out with us. And as always, everybody, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Peace.